at her at a 10 because you kept doing it. But anyway, I just started the YouTube, so we'll let the rooms come in. But as we are doing that, I will say today will officially be my last day on YouTube. I am leaving in the morning, so I'm sure Jules and Maria will be happy about that. Hey, Brenna. um, well, Maria just said that she doesn't have DV in her family. Well, here's the proof. You do have DV in your family. Clark also has a DV charge. So you have DV in your chat and all that jazz, Maria. So there you go. We'll let the room load a little. We'll let the YouTubers roll on in. Hey, Ghostface. Um, hey, Gamecock. So yeah, so that will be it. Today will be it. My last time on YouTube. Um, just moving on with things. I might go live maybe once a month or something like that. But it's not going to be how it is now. That's why I was really throwing in a lot of YouTube lives, and I wanted to really keep Jules and Maria pressed, and it worked each and every time. Um, I don't know if you guys were watching, but Maria was on a crack high, a coke high last night, and I actually think there was some fentanyl and ketamine in her last night as well. She was triggered as hell on her community tab. I'm really not sure how she's saying she didn't watch Ann last night when she responded literally to damn near everything that Ann was saying. Um, I'm gonna miss you guys too. I'm gonna try so hard to get that Discord up and running. I'm not really tech savvy, so that's gonna take me a while to get through. Um, yeah, I'm gonna keep my IG open though for to stay in contact. And I will be in the chats. Um, really, only chats I go to is Cooch's when she's live, Heidi's, Ann's, and really that's about it. So it's not many chats that I go to. And as far as Maria saying I would go back to Jules if she let me, no, I would not. I do not like Jules. I do not watch Jules. Um, I might start a little bit of Jules, but I cannot take more than about 10, 15 minutes of Jules. So, no, Maria, I don't watch Jules. Even yesterday when I was playing Jules, that was, yeah, this is it, Goldilocks. Um, um, that was painful enough to watch and listen to yesterday of Jules. So, no, I'm not. Um, oh, yeah, and I also go into E11s. I really like E11. Um, hey, sweet potato. But you guys would be fucking fools to think that I didn't put some shit in place in case y'all want to pop off and act stupid. And let me just show, hey, sweet potato, the healthiest potato there is. Let me just show you where Jules, you really fucked up. Let me see if I still have it. Oh, here we go. Y'all are gonna die when y'all see this one. Jules, you sending me this was the dumbest thing you could ever have done. Because now I have everyone's information in your apartment building. And it's all public information. You cannot get mad. You cannot file an RO on me because you willingly sent this to me as I was telling you, stop sending me shit. You kept doing it. So I now have all of their information. I will send them your racist post on YouTube that um, you've been putting on there. When you think black people want to hear those racist comments and you replaying all that, I have all that, and I have no problem sending those to your neighbors in the building and let them know how you sound. I have that clip of you acting a fool with Jen and how manic you were sounding and how much of a bully you sounded. I have all that, and I have the links to them. I have them uploaded. I have links, and I have no problem just sending them links. Hey, Miss Liability. Uh, so Jules, don't think for a second that I don't have you right where I want you. And if anybody wants that information, I will give that to you too, because it is what? Public records. As y'all like to say. Maria, I have you in spades as well. All the racist stuff, all those nasty things you were saying about my family and all that, I have those clips and all that. I will email those to your job, the president, your supervisors, and all that. I have that too. Geneva, you dummy. I have you too. I'm just waiting on the FOIAs to come back of your niece. So you post about me one more time under that hairy shoe. I know that's fucking you, Geneva. So Heidi's on vacation. Heidi's in Jamaica. Um, yeah, I started a little early since Momo ended. So, um, so Geneva, I will post the FOIAs of your niece beating on people. And I owe you, Geneva, because you did put my brother on there too. And you didn't cross the names out or anything. So I might put your niece's record on Reddit just the same as you did my brother. And you didn't cross his name out or nothing. So, hmm, hmm, hmm. So, so there's that. And it's all public information. You guys went this low with me. Y'all did it to other people. Fair is fair. I don't like to go real life on people. I've said it before. That's not my thing. That's not my jam. I never. Hold on a second. I never wanted to go that low and nasty with people, but you guys have done the worst of the worst to people. You guys have done some nasty shit. And Kendra, if you want any of that information, I will give it to you as well. Because and Jen, if you want any of that information, I will give it to you as well. Because they are going just as low, just as nasty at you guys as they are me. And you guys really don't fight back with them. All those prank calls and all that was getting. Notice how that stopped. Notice how that stopped when I um, gave it right back to them. Um, let's go over, since Maria has been talking a lot of that craziness about her being a hero, and Geneva, or not Geneva, and Maria, if you guys do end up calling the police on Maria because she is doxing you guys and she is doing that crazy stuff, make sure you guys include that she has weapons of mass destruction that she is not supposed to have in her reach. Um, well, Kendra, you're going to have to fight back, even though you're busy. When you don't fight back with them, that's when they go even harder and lower. So just if you need it, reach out. I will give it to you. I will give you guys everyone in Geneva's family, everyone in Jules's family. I have all their information and it's public record. So remember that. And that's their problem. They like to fight back and go hard and nasty at people, but they don't expect the same to be done with them. Um, that's their problem and their issue. But make sure you include that Maria has weapons of mass destruction that she's not supposed to have. And I can provide those documents to you as well that she's not supposed to have them. It's in court documents, court records. So I'm just looking for this video I have of Maria being a hero. And I don't know why she's dragging Lauren Marie so hard. Oh, and Amy Lou, I see you making your comments, sis. I see you. Hey, Dreamsicle, how are you? Hey, Sudie, how are you? I see you making your comments, Amy Lou. And I'm just letting you know, I'm just forewarning you. I'm gonna give you a little bit of tea. How's the weather down in Tennessee? How's the weather down there, Amy Lou? I'm just throwing you a little bone here. You might want to quit talking so much shit. And you guys, have y'all seen how cute Cree's nephew is? Um, he's a cute content creator. He's like literally all over the place. Um, yeah, when I tell you her nephew is a cute content creator, he's cute. And I actually have a picture of his cheeks where he's sitting on the toilet. Cree. Cree and I are supposed to be meeting up for Wendy's too, so give me 1 second. I think today is going to be a good day. We're going to discuss Momo. I'm going to read some court documents for her. And hey, Kirsten, and let everyone know that Maria is a freeloader and a grifter. And to be honest with you, I don't think she really has a reason to really ever have disliked John Yates other than she doesn't like people with the initials of JY. And after we go through this, I'll let y'all know why I think that. And if anyone wants the link for anything, got something to get off your chest or anything, let me drop that here. Lindsay, drop the link. Where my girl Rainbow at? Um, and let me say this. Ghost of Shadows. I see you. We see each other. Oh, and Penny, call me. We gotta talk.
Let me look at the numbers. Hold on. I just don't want to. He does not respect the restraining parking area, but now I'm driving. I just want to clear something up because John's going to find an excuse to go after me any little thing that he does not respect the restraining order, obviously. And he's going to find any details just
Yeah,
to go live because he doesn't have any content.
I peep that character savings is Geneva. I can catch Geneva now. I can catch her accounts, and I can I can spot him a while away. Harry Shue was also Geneva, and I'm telling you, Geneva, if you say one more thing crazy about me, I'm going to post your niece on Reddit. I'm gonna post that report on Reddit before I even get the FOIAs. And it's stuff you do to Geneva, so you cannot get mad if anybody has done that to you. Just FYI.
So he's got to find anything to come live and drag me and say that he's going to get to the bottom of it. So I'm going to get to the bottom of it for him, and I'm going to say it here. Okay, the person who warned John that the police were coming were sent by me. I sent the person to warn John. Nobody else did. I did. He was taking me to court, and I still didn't want Cody going to get arrested by his mom in front of his mom. So as soon as I found out, I did. I never lied about it. Paul came up to me and he asked me if I could make a call because he was pissed off at John for John telling him off, and something that John was telling if I New Jersey Police Department back in the day. And I said I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I'm in a court case with John. I'm not helping anybody do it. Call the police department. So that was the end of that. He didn't come back to me to ask him to call Florida. Nothing. He came back to me he came to me to call New Jersey. And when I said no, he didn't ask me anymore. And then right before this happened with Florida, he came to me and he came with a story. So the story that he told me, I immediately told somebody to message John that I wasn't going to message him myself because we're in the middle of a court thing, and I wasn't gonna risk myself of him turning around and say, "Oh, no matter if it was a good message or not, she messaged me." So I had somebody message him and warn him because the last thing I would want is somebody to get arrested in front of their mother. Because I'm such a horrible person that I could have said, "Fuck it, I'm not even gonna say anything. Let him get arrested," and I didn't want that to happen. So then what Paul had told me was, and I immediately told this person, what he told me, he had stopped asking when I said no that time. So then what he did was he came back months later, because remember call I said no to, and he said he was gloating and he said, "Oh my God, the FBI got involved and they're gonna arrest Cody when he gets Cody's going. I didn't even know he was going anywhere." And he said, and he's gonna get arrested when he gets there. It's gonna be so good. And I totally freaked out. And then I said to this person, I'm afraid to contact Dawn because I don't want to get blamed like, "Oh, you're messaging me or calling me when we have this restraining order against each other." And that, so I said to this person, "We got to get contact to him and tell him not to go to Florida because he's going to get arrested." And I told Paul, like, who from the FBI, like, how can you stop this? Who can, what can be done? Like, this is crazy. And so Paul had no idea who the FBI was. And then I found out that Paul had told Debbie, and Debbie said the FBI was her son-in-law. So when this came down and I asked for the phone call, the 911 call to see, I was thinking it was going to be an FBI agent on the phone talking to the Florida Police Department. And then that's why at first they said that they couldn't find the call. And I said, well, maybe it's because it's from police department to FBI or FBI to police department. And then when I was sent that call in the email and I recognized Debbie's voice, I knew that she had told Paul that it was an FBI son-in-law, I think she said, that he had told me. And it was a lie. It was her herself that called. But he's trying to blame everybody in the freaking group chat. And the person who called, the person who messaged him, I'm not going to say who it is. If she wants to come forward, she can come forward. But we did nothing wrong. Like nothing. I didn't want to see Cody arrested. The last thing. I have children too. And I don't care how old your children are. The last thing it will traumatize his mother forever. But now he's making it like, oh, you guys have to tell me. We got to find out who wrote this. Who wrote this? We got to find because it has a connection with Maria, and she did something horrible, and now she's friends with Jules, and all the people that follow me are now liking Maria, and he will do anything to take me down.
Ugh.
He will do anything to take me down. Yet I wouldn't do the same to him because I wouldn't want that. Do you not think with all the shit he keeps talking about me
Hey,
every single
Brenda.
day, he doesn't respect the restraining order, yet he wants to see me arrested and he writes that he wants to see me arrested on YouTube and on Reddit. Sorry. I'm going to go through a zone that I think I'm going to lose you guys. Can you guys hear me? I'm just so heated with the bullshit.
Ghostface, she did this about a month ago, 2 months ago, maybe.
Thank you, Creep.
Hey,
I'm just
sweets.
so tired of this shit. Like he's making a federal. It's going to be episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. Who did it? Could it be Jane D? Could it be Amber Sherrington? Could it be Geneva? Could it be who was it? It wasn't that a big deal. I wasn't. I didn't want to come forward because I have to have no connections to him. But I didn't do anything bad. I literally said he needs to be contacted. They can't be in Florida because I couldn't stop it because Paul thought it was an FBI agent. Thank you, Miss Vicky. And but he's gotten rid of old friends. He's mad at Addie. He's mad at Susie. He was treating Barbie bad, all because we're human beings, and they decided to follow Jules. Well, they had followed Jules, and then they saw me in there, and then it wasn't immediately. They were like, "Hi, Maria. Hi." It's and so Maria's the devil. So you can't be friends with Maria. If I was such a devil, I could have let Cody get arrested with all the shit that John's put me through, with all the threats and everything, because you were threatening John before that shit. You were still threatening me, and I didn't even think twice about it. I didn't say, "Oh, he deserves it." I would never say that. So stop with your bullshit already. You don't have to go live to say we're going to figure out who it is. I'm telling you who it was. It was me, and you're not going to find out who messaged you because she's not going to come forward. He abandoned his people. He abandoned everybody. Jules never told anyone to do anything ever. Nothing. Nothing. Thank you, Cat's Rule. I mean, I was just, hey, Jules, I was just going to stay quiet.
Now, Maria, for somebody who says they don't watch me, you're watching now, baby girl. That's why you decided to put my brother's record up online. And you see how nice I was being? I crossed off your husband's name, but let me go ahead and put up the one that actually shows his name. So you see, Maria, I can be nice, but. And because you did that, I'm going to go ahead and put up Geneva's niece's record as well, because I know she's the reason why you guys were able to get that. So if you give me 1 second, I'm going to go ahead and put up the unredacted stuff. Oh, please.
Nothing to do with that call. What I had to do was with stopping it. Because if I had not said, let's do this and make sure they're not in Florida, Cody would have been arrested. I'm just so sick of this shit. He's always making it out like I'm the horrible person. And he's thinking that he said, I'm not against the person who called me. You did a really good thing. Okay, John, it was me. So stop going after me. Stop trying to get me on anything you can get me to get arrested because I'm so sick of this shit. He's been lying for about an hour, trying to figure out, dissecting everything. How, who called? I mean, who sent him a message? Who could it be? Blaming everybody, blaming the group chat, blaming all these people who is willing to come. Yeah, we welcome anyone who's willing to chat with us, of course. And God forbid these women that were in Jules' chat, and then they're like, "Oh, Maria's not as bad." So they start talking. We're all adults. We can talk to whoever we want to talk to. If somebody gets rid of you, why did Paul and Debbie do it? It was wrong. I don't know how he convinced her, but Debbie said that the reason she did it was because John was calling her husband a pedo, and he's not. So that really pissed her off. Comes back to YouTube just to stir up drama. That's it. That's it for money rather than both of them working actual jobs. I'm so sick of he doesn't respect the restraining order. He comes after me every single day. And Brooke, put your pants on. You know, where's the thing? He's talking about your friends. He's talking about Anne. He's talking about Walt. He's talking bad about Sarah. Defend your friends.
My bad,
He's
you
talking
guys.
bad about Dreamsicle. When is enough enough?
That clicking was me sending a text message at the same
It
time.
never ends. It never ends with this man. Every freaking day he's got to bring my name up. Brooke went right back to him. I think she just likes to be treated badly. That's why. So now, if he makes another live of let's get, episode number 1120.
You guys, we have a special guest coming up. Please, everyone, please be respectful. And also, please, 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 give everybody a chance, okay? And just listen to. Um, hey, Rebel. Hey, Nanny.
We're going to figure out who sent these messages. And don't be afraid. Somebody who's afraid of Maria because she's in that chat. So I guess I must be afraid of myself, John. I must be afraid of myself. So now you don't have to watch all his episodes.
Kate, Caitlin, you're not a dox, right? You're not trying to come in here to dox anybody. This liability, do you know her? I mean, I have no problem with you being here. I don't want you to think that by any means. I just don't want to dox like somebody innocent. Hello.
Hey, George.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well. Doing well. Is it okay for me to tell everybody who this is?
Oh, absolutely.
You guys, this is Amber Sherrington. Okay, Caitlin, welcome too. This is Amber Sherrington. She wanted the link. I have always wanted to give Amber the link, and I've always wanted her to come in and tell her whatever she wanted to say. I've always wanted to give her the opportunity to do that. So, with that being said, Amber, I will give you the floor.
George, I just actually wanted to take a few minutes of your time just because of the messages that I was getting last night that I sent to you. Um, Kind of funny that those were coming through mid conversation between you and myself about your new phone number.
Right.
Um, Then I get the threatening community post from Geneva. Thank you to those sending me messages of what Amber Charrington is telling them. The Layton Police Department are documenting. The Layton Police Department are not documenting anything. I was in contact with them. I preemptively provided all of Geneva's information to them, giving them a history of what type of person she is, the false welfare checks, the police calls saying she's a medical professional, saying she's a nurse, saying she's Jane Alvey, calling kids, Brooks House when there was kids there for the sleepover. So I contacted a couple cities preemptively, places that Geneva knew about that I had connections to. The Layton police are not documenting anything other than who Geneva is. They pulled her driver's license and attached it to the information that I provided to them, so that anytime she does give them a phone call, they will pull up that information and see that she has a history of swatting people, calling fake welfare checks, things like that. Contacted the jurisdiction that I'm currently living in because she thinks I'm in Layton, but I didn't let her know where I was moving because I kind of had an escape plan when I was ending our friendship. So let her think I was moving somewhere. And that worked out really well because now she's threatening, oh, the Layton police. Well, not where I am. Um, she did actually make 2 false police reports, with where I previously lived out in West Jordan. Both of those cases have been closed as unfounded and unsubstantiated, and now all of Geneva's information and her family's information is sitting on the desk of the city attorney in West Jordan. So she can keep it up and she can keep going, but now everybody has her information, down to her Social Security of her dead mother that she gave to me. Also found out from her police jurisdiction that if you received the information legally and you didn't illegally obtain that information, you can pass it around to whoever you want and you can post it wherever you want. So, anybody that needs her information, if you're scared of her, if you're worried about what she's doing, you want to contact your police department and give them a heads up about what type of person she is, George has all of that information. He can
I
give
do.
it to you. If you have any questions or concerns and want to contact me directly, you absolutely can. In the works with providing some information to Brooke about Geneva, of all the things that Geneva was doing to her, so that Brooke can take care of that on her end because she's had enough of what she's been put through. So
Yeah.
if anybody is, worried about the latent police and the documenting they're doing, Geneva hasn't even made a phone call to them. That's been confirmed. So she's up here lying on her community tab, trying to look like she's so important and getting people in trouble. She's only getting herself in trouble because now that the 2 police reports have been closed out as unfounded, and she was in contact with the West Jordan Victims Advocate, they are concerned about the actions that she's been taking and the things that she's been doing to people. So she can keep up her foolery, but it's only gonna be coming back to her now. The other thing I wanted to let you know is that, her police department has provided all of her information to their mental health crisis team so that they can determine if they need to do some kind of, psychological testing or mental illness, intervention on her due to all of the things that she's doing to other people. So if anybody has any concerns about what Geneva's doing, she's done to them, George has the contact information for that mental health wellness intake crew. If you need that, he can provide that to you too.
I can. I can. And when you said that they can reach out to you, what is the best way for them to reach out? Do you want me to give them your number or
Absolutely, George, because now that Geneva's been giving out my number, I get contacted often by people wanting information.
and they think they're slick.
Just like the person last night, that was comical because literally we're mid-sentence in a conversation, and I get this new text message, "Hey, this is George's new number. This is where you can contact me from now on because Ghost of Shadows keeps pranking me. So just send me everything you've got in Jenny so that I can get that bitch tomorrow." Okay.
And that was clearly Ghost of Shadows. And Ghost of Shadows, we knew what you were doing. And
I'm
Ghost
not
of
sure if it
Shadows.
was Ghost of Shadows or if it was Geneva herself, but either way, it was quite comical and screenshot sent to George.
And the, should I tell them whose number we actually gave?
Well, that's up to you. You gave the number. Geneva had the number. She passed it around. So if you wanna tell whose number was given out, you can have the honor.
Okay. Pink Butterfly wants to know, Amber, please answer. What did George do to Geneva to attack him?
He didn't go after Jules when she wanted him to. Geneva sent George some videos of Jules, where Jules, I didn't even really watch enough of the videos to understand them, but they were described to me as videos of Jules trafficking her friends. I don't even know if that's accurate. I just know that there were videos that were on YouTube. It was another YouTube channel that Geneva had set up, videos about Jules, and they involved other women and alcohol. And she sent those to George. George didn't want to post them or bring light to them, so he ignored them. And then the other thing is that there was a person that was using a name similar to Geneva's ex-brother-in-law that was in the chat, and George didn't immediately block it, and so she went off the rails.
Hmm. And the name was Joel Diaz. I had no idea who that was. Once Geneva tagged me in a post explaining, I apologized to her and I took care of it immediately. But at that time, I had no idea. And that was it.
Yeah,
That's all I mean,
that's all he did.
yeah. And the thing with, I did not want to get involved with that kind of stuff with Jules. At that time, I did not hate Jules enough to post that kind of stuff. When I did play that welfare check about Jules, Geneva sent that to me. That was it. That was the only thing I played that Geneva played or sent me. And the only reason why I played that is because she was playing the 1096 call from Jen. So I was just shown, hey, you have this call out here too. But that was it. I was not going to play those videos. Even at that time, I didn't know how to share a screen.
Yeah.
So literally, you don't have to do nothing to Geneva.
Oh, you
So
just have to make her mad. And the thing
yeah.
is, I know that people are scared of her and worried about what she's gonna do, and she's gonna pull their information. She has everybody's information. Um, she has all of your police records. She has all of your court documents. She's got them on her little computer and her iPad, and she just peruses all of your details. And it's almost like uh, it's like a fake family is almost what she's trying to create of people of, like, "Oh, this is so and so, and this is their date of birth, and this is where they work, and this is what they do." She just really does not have a single soul in her life that truly wants anything to do with her. She sits at home alone 24/7 with her cats, and nobody wants anything to do with her. So she's like a golden retriever bringing all these bones to everybody, but nobody wants the sloppy, sticky bones.
Mhm.
You use her for what you need her for and then pass along, and she just keeps doing it and doing it. She's a friend to no one, is loyal to no one. And it's weird because when, and Daddy's disappointment, I see your comment up there, and you are right. She goes psycho if you don't want something to do with her. I honestly had to, um, and this is gonna sound dramatic, break up with her like 5 different times. There were different times where we would quit communicating because I was done with her, didn't want anything to do with her. All she does is this YouTube and Reddit garbage all day long, every day. There is no communication about anything else. She just wants to continue on the YouTube drama and the Reddit drama. And finally, back in July, when I told her, "I'm done with you. Don't you ever contact me again. I want nothing to do with you." I got this weird, almost like a jilted lover email and text message. And it kind of reminded me of things that I had somewhat heard PMR talk about in live chat messages and things that Cooch had talked about, and different comments that I had seen PMR say about, it's almost like she takes on this persona of being your lover, even though you're not. It's like the email I got, it's like, "Oh, I woke up from a bad dream about you." And it's like, "What the hell? Like, why are you dreaming about me?" And then like begging, "Can we have one more conversation, and can you please help me understand?" And it's like, move on. Like, it's done. No conversation is going to do anything. You want to have a conversation because you want to try and manipulate and get sympathy and say you're dying. And that's another thing in that final email. She again talks about how much, how little time she has left to live. And it's like, she's going to outlive all of us just because of the evil that is coursing through her veins. That literally is keeping her alive, like searching people, causing problems, creating issues, and then coming up in her own mind of these fantasy relationships that she has with people. If I
Yeah.
would have sent that email to anybody, I would have died of embarrassment of, "Oh my gosh, I woke up from a bad dream dreaming about you." It's like, "What?" Like, we've never met, we've talked, through text message. That's it. On the telephone, yeah, we talked on the telephone, but it's like none of this grandiose relationship that she made it out to be. It was just she needed information. I would look up information. Everything that I looked up or she looked up was easily findable on Google. Um, she would do like the Pacer and the all of those different court website, different things. I didn't have any of those court accesses, Pacer or whatever. Never have. Even way back, people were like, "Oh my gosh, Amber Charrington used LexisNexis to look people up." I never even had access to LexisNexis, and so it's crazy. But Google is a handy tool, and if you have the right information, you can pretty much find anything that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so this is Pink Butterfly. This one I don't know. If I had to bet my life on it, I would probably bet so, just because all of the different things I've seen and the different people I've talked to. Geneva denies it, but I was friends with Mims before her passing, and there were some things communicated to me about that. I also knew some different things about Reddit. And so, with things that I've seen and things that she's done, I would absolutely say that she did it, but I have no proof. Um, she adamantly denied it, which seems strange to me because, for me, it's like you just say no and move on. You don't have to keep beating the dead horse. And she constantly beats the dead horse on this. Um, and Mims, I'm sorry. I trusted her, absolutely trusted her. And she never, I felt, never gave me bad information. And so I feel like with it coming from Mims, I believe it. Um, you
Yeah.
know, I but I can't give you a 100%. What I can say is that she and Drazo had a falling out where they blocked each other and had not been communicating for months, and she wished ill of him, and she recorded his daughter and slowed it down when she was without a shirt on Johnny Max. So it's like, apples and apples and apples and oranges. It's an apple and an apple for me.
Yeah. 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 So, would you say that, and I've said this before, but would you agree that the way Geneva works is she works in a team and she's doing the fuck shit, but when things go south and everybody runs, she's blaming everybody else?
Absolutely. And the other thing is, and I've explained this to both Brooke and to Muzz, is that Geneva will drag you into things to make it look like you're complicit. She'll call you and say, "Oh, I'm at the doctor's office and I don't have my iPad or I don't have my laptop. Can you look this up and can you send it to me?" So then you do, because she's like, "Oh, go to this website, look at this, pull this up, this page, send me that page." So then you send her that exact thing, but then when the screenshot it gets shown, it's like you're the one that did the evil thing because it's a link or a screenshot coming from you. But there's no conversation about it's just a random, it's like you're on the phone with somebody and they say, "Hey, send me this link," so you do, and there's no text conversation before or after about that piece of thing because you're
Mhm.
literally on the phone with her and she's like, "Oh, look this up and send it to me. Oh, look this up and send it to me. Send me this screenshot. Send me that. Send me that." And that's exactly how it happened with Reagan's grandparents. Geneva had found um, the I don't know if death notice is the appropriate term for that, um, but she had found the website of where Reagan's grandparents had, their notice was on the website, and she called me up. Hey, can you pull up this website? So I do, and I'm looking at it, and it's just some, name that I've never heard before. Hey, can you send me that? So I send it to her. Come to find out, it's Reagan's grandparents' death notice that she's asked me to look up and send to her. So you get when you're associated with her, you get into that situation where, because of her strokes and her different things, she'll tell you, "Oh, I can't do this right now. Can you pull it up and send it to me?" And then you do. And then it looks like you're the one that was actually doing it when she's the one that gave you the direction of go to this website, click here, do this, do that. So anybody that is associated with her is going to end up getting in this position of, oh, send me this, send me that. So it looks like you were involved in it too. She'll also use all of her different accounts, like on Reddit, to communicate with herself on Reddit or to communicate with you on Reddit. She'll have you set up a Reddit account and then she'll start sending you stuff on Reddit that she'll then want you to send to her through text message so that it looks like there's no direct link to her. She got it from somewhere else or you got it from somewhere else. So there's all this convoluted garbage in your text messages that if somebody were to look at it, nothing connects because of how the information is being passed around.
Wow. Wow. And it makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
The
And
other
I've
thing
always
oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry,
Yeah.
George, I didn't
No,
mean
no,
to
no.
cut
Go
you
ahead.
off.
This is all
The
you.
thing
Nope.
is,
Go ahead.
because of all the things that have come on and all the threats she's made to me and all the intimidation, I've actually filed some different things to receive information. She has never been a nurse in California or Oregon, never held a nurse's license in either of those states, and that has been confirmed. She says it's because the nursing license is under her married name, and that's protected because of who her ex husband's identity is. That's not true. Both boards have searched by her maiden name and her date of birth. And had she been a nurse, it would still do a hit with her maiden name and her date of birth because of the background checks that she would have had to have gone through to receive a nurse's license. So she hasn't received a nurse's license. And then I've also been in contact with the Santa Clara DA's office and provided information to them as well because of the niece that we're all supposed to be scared of and the niece that's coming after us. So information has been provided to the Santa Clara DA's office so that they can understand what's going on with that. Um, Sorry, Daddy's disappointment. I'm not very good with the messages and the talking and understanding all of this very well. So if I don't see somebody's message or I don't get to it, I'm not trying to be rude or whatever. So I see this. It says, "Are you getting spoofed text, Amber C?" Absolutely. Right now, the one I'm getting the number. I'm getting spoofed text from a number at 614-612-8191. That one says they're George, but it's not George.
And when
Um,
she was getting that text yesterday, her and I were already talking to each other while that was happening.
yep. And then there's about 6 other ones that I've been getting. Let me see. Oh, sorry, I can't pull up the other ones while I'm on here with you. But that's the one that I'm currently getting the text messages. And so I get text messages where they're threats, where they're vile, disgusting, threatening. And then I also get text messages asking for information. People that are saying, "Hey, I'm so and so. I'm worried about XYZ. Do you know anything about this? Do you know anything about that?" Um, and then once they've kind of given me enough that I know that it's not some weirdo just trying to get information, I'll give them the information that they've asked for, whether it's screenshots or addresses or phone numbers or different things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
can honestly, guys, I can honestly say for the ones who are asking, why should we believe you? I can honestly say everything that I was told, everything that I posted, I fact checked and it has come out to be correct. I would never have posted anything. Uh, hey, Rainbow, this is Amber C. I would never just willy nilly just posted anything. I will honestly say everything she has said is true. And honestly, had I called Amber before court, things probably would have went differently. I can say
Yeah.
that.
The other thing so on, and this is crazy to me because she claimed that she quit talking to me because I was the dangerous one, this, that, and the other back in, July. But I do have emails from her. The one about the woken up for the strangest dream, that was back on September 6th. So after the time that she says that she was communicating with me, I also received another one on September 17th saying, I really need the live and did on me with the court stuff. I know you downloaded it, but I can't find it anywhere. I need it from my attorney. It was called Karma and was on February 22nd. I helped you out with your stuff, so I'm hoping you will return the favor. After this, you won't hear from me again. Yeah, except on her community tab and on all the little live panels she's hopping on. I'm not going to hear from her again. Um, So it's just a whole thing.
Mm.
Oh,
Um,
the list. I love this about the list because this is another thing is she's like, oh, Amber was keeping this list. I had a few names from way back when things were going on with Brooke and Yahoo Boy and that whole going on. Yahoo Boy had given me the identities and information of a couple people that were involved in some things way back then that had threatened us. There was a day when I was on the phone with Genevra, and she's like, oh, can you type this information out for me as I give it to you? And I'm like, sure, why not? So I typed all the information as she's giving me all the information. Now, outside of a couple people that Yahoo Boy had given me, and a couple people that Drazo had given me, all of the other information came from Genevra, and pretty much it's a hate list of anybody that's ever done her wrong. So if you were in a group chat on Instagram with her, if you were in Discord with her, if you've blinked the wrong way at her, you're going to be on her list. And the list that I sent, I actually did remove a couple of pieces of information because there were some information about minor children that had been provided to me by Genevra. Muz's sister's little children, those two kids, I removed their information before I sent the list to Brooke. And then my understanding is that Daddy's Disappointment's daughter was on there. I don't know who her daughter is or what piece of information, was her daughter. So I apologize for sending that to Brooke, but I deleted what children's information that I knew when I sent the list to Brooke.
wow. Mm,
So,
mm,
Petty
mm.
PP, I know that she does have an extreme hate for you because I have heard her whenever I've been on the phone with her and she's watching live streams and you're in a chat, she has said derogatory things about you or made comments about you. I don't know specifically what because a lot of the stuff I just didn't get dragged up in. I didn't care about the people that were in the old Discord that broke up with her. I just know that when I was introduced to her by Drazo, that all of the people in Discord had broken up with her for whatever reasons. And I know that she was then harassing people trying to get them to communicate with her again.
Oh, wow. And she also had a website, right, where she was pulling people's IP addresses,
That's my
right?
understanding. She did talk to me about that. That was a website on John Yates that she had made. I never knew much about that website because I wasn't involved in those things. I didn't know her at that time. My understanding is she did set up a website about John Yates to expose him for the type of character he is. I guess she had all the different lives of his on there, and it would track the IP. It would grab the IP addresses of anybody that visited that site. What information she could gain from that, I do not know because I'm not intelligent enough technologically to understand what she could or couldn't gain from getting people's IP addresses. But I do know that she specifically told me that she was able to grab people's IP addresses from that.
Wow. And also, we spoke last night about Anne. Geneva sent you a picture of Anne's and her current, or Anne and her ex-husband,
No, she
right?
didn't send me the picture. What happened was, okay, so you know on StreamYard how you can join a StreamYard and just be in the backstage and be showing things in the backstage and nobody else sees it but whoever's there with you. She pulled up
Hmm.
Anne's Instagram and Facebook. I think it was Facebook and Instagram. She pulled up her social media accounts, and that picture that has been being posted of Anne and her the children of her the dad of her children. I don't know if they're married, divorced, I don't even care. That the man she's lived most of her life with, that picture I remember vividly being shown on either her Instagram or her Facebook. The picture that she did send to me was of Anne's daughters, and then she also sent a picture of Anne's daughters with a male who she was convinced was Anne's son. I later convinced her that it wasn't Anne's son just based on the timelines and the things that Anne was saying. And so it was, that Mel didn't end up getting doxxed as Anne's son, but she was convinced it was him and she was going to dox him until I told her, yeah, I don't think that's him. But she did send me the picture because I didn't even know that Anne's children, daughters, had been posted on Reddit, I think it was, by Geneva. I had no idea until Anne was doing her exposés on Geneva about the eviction cases. Um, the Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Anne was doing those, uh, eviction things, and I was getting dragged into it and dragged just as bad with Geneva, and I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" And then I'm finding out that Geneva sure as heck did post, Anne's kids and then denied it forever, and she actually ended up sending me the picture that she posted on Reddit of those girls, and then that was, new to me when that was going on. I had no idea that that had even happened and hadn't even been a part of it. And this is PMR saying, Amber, do you know who PMR Skin is? I have no idea. Um, my answer on everything now is Geneva because of all of the accounts that she's had and all of the accounts that she's lied about. She would set up account after account after account after account and go in and do different things and, then deny, and I would say it's her just because of the nasty, hateful things that are being said. I have seen that in chat a few times. And, honestly, just the way she forms these unhealthy relationships where she thinks that you have to be friends with her until your death. I would say it's her. I mean, she's so obsessed with PMR. You cannot have a single conversation without PMR coming up every single time. And for me, who's never had any dealings with PMR, who's never spoken to PMR, had nothing against PMR, it gets kind of old talking about people that you have nothing to do with, you know nothing about. And it's just this obsessive over and over and over. Can you call PMR's job and find out if she works there? And I'm like, how am I going to do that? Well, pretend you're HR calling to do like a job, trying to get a reference on her. I'm like, yeah, that's not how it's done these days. It's all electronic, or it's a third party company that calls and is like, I'm this company calling for this company to do a reference. I'm like, I can't just call up and be like, hey, can I get a reference on this person? So,
Mm, yeah. Would you say when I modded PMR and Daddy, it pissed
oh,
Geneva off?
absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
And at that time, you guys, I did not know Geneva, Daddy, and PMR's history. I didn't know all that until Geneva said
Yeah.
it all. And then that's why I was like, oh, okay, maybe she's pissed off over that. But
Well, it also
yeah,
had to do with Star too, because she does not like Star at all. And Star's a little bit of a spitfire. And so Star will say comments about Geneva and it pisses her off. So I would say when you did PMR, Daddy's Disappointment, and Star, then that was kind of a done for you.
yeah.
So,
And I don't regret that decision at all. I love PMR, I love Daddy, and I love Star. I do not regret it, and I would not change that if I could. I would go through all of that again for those three. So, Geneva, I'm sorry how you feel. I wouldn't change a thing.
yeah.
And um, I would say that I drugged the shit out of Jules this year, and it pisses Jules off too. I've drugged Maria this year so bad, and Geneva. And, the three of them, you guys deserved every single bit of what you guys got and what is about to come. I will E11 for sure. Unless it gets struck down, but I'll send it to you. Um, but
Well,
yeah,
and see, right after I had told Geneva, I want nothing to do with you ever again. A couple days later, I'm getting, these spoofs of, oh, we found Habanero's identity and we know who E11 is. And it's like, I don't care. Like, I do not care. This is not a way to drag me back into your life. I don't care who these people are. I don't care who their kids are. I don't want to know anything about them. And it's just, there are times that she would say, oh, I'm done with YouTube, I don't want to have anything to with YouTube or Reddit anymore. So I would send her a message: are you committed to no longer talking about YouTube or Reddit? We're going to just have regular conversations about regular real life things. No more YouTube, no more this, whatever. And it was like, yeah, no more. Well, then the very next day, there she is in the chats, in the, on the panels, doing whatever, causing grief, causing heartache. And it's like, oh, so you're telling me one thing, but you're doing another thing. And then as soon as you get on the phone with her again, it's like, oh, this person did this, and this person did this, and this person did that. And, it's all about, with her, it's intimidation and threats. And if you're not scared of her, she has no power over you. I don't care what she says about me. I don't care what she says about my family. That just shows what kind of trash she is, not me, and not those associated with me. And she
yeah.
sorry,
Um,
George, cutting you off again. The other thing is she
no,
feeds on using people's traumas to, wage war against you. And she knows that I went through it with a situation. And then she decided, when we weren't friends any longer, that she was going to try and exploit that. And she knows it turned around. But instead of being honest and saying, oh, this terrible thing happened, but it got turned around, she just wanted to exploit the bad part of it and not be honest about, oh, but then the authorities figured out, so she just wants to, bring out the dirty stuff and talk about the dirty stuff and people's children. She will, search and whatever on people's children. And I don't know why that obsession is there. Everybody's children, she's worried about what they're doing, calling CPS, all of these different things, worried about, other people's children. And it's like, you just need to stop. Just stop getting in people's business. You don't know any of these people. They're not your friends. They're literally just people online making content. You just need to stop.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I agree. And Maria and Jules, you guys need to stop enabling her and adding gas to that fire. And at the end of the day, Geneva, you're going to be the one to go to jail for the stuff you're doing on their
Well, and
behalf, but you're
my
doing it.
state isn't as lax as her state, and her officer actually gave me different information of you need to do this, you need to do this, you needed to do this. Because of the state you're in and the laws you have, you can do this to her, you can do this to her, and you can do this to her. And so that's why her information is on the desk of the city attorney so that they can determine what they want to do with her. Now, I don't know if they will follow through and do anything or not because she does have mental issues. And so if they determine that she's not culpable because of her mental issues, then she's just going to keep doing her garbage. But they are deeply concerned with the two false reports that she made about me and the things that she was saying about me. These reports were initially flagged as private and not be able to be obtained by a FOIA or a grammar request because of the type of things she stated and how scared she was for her, that I was going to come get her, or I was going to find her. But when you're able to give the police every piece of information about her that she's giving you, her name, her date of birth, her phone number, her address. I was able to show them all the different transactions on DoorDash where I was sending her food, where I was sending her money, where she borrowed $25 from me and, oh, I'll pay you back Monday, where she sent me her mother's death certificate that has all of her mother's information on it, address, last place living, her mother's occupation, her mother's social security number. Who sends that to anybody? And unsolicited at that. So when I was able to say, here you go, here's all her information, I'm not a danger to her because I know exactly where she is and I've made no moves or no threats. It's a whole different story to the police when you can show that.
Yeah. Would you say that in July, when you said, "Hey, I don't want nothing to do with you no more. I'm not going to talk to you no more," would you say that's when they started blaming everything on you, saying you were the paging JY
I
and blah blah
actually
blah,
think it
that
was
kind of stuff?
before that because I've things that there have been things that have been shown to me where Geneva was setting me up before even that time, even back into to when you were doing the stuff with Anastasia. I think that's the name of the
Hmm.
lady, Anastasia. She was I've been shown things where she was setting me up as far back as even then. um, so
Yeah.
PMR says, Amber, did you two sign me up for Vine Link? I think that's what it's called. That would be Geneva. She signed you and Muzz up for it. And she's admitted to signing Muzz up for it.
Yeah. And I will say, you guys, Geneva sent messages to other people, um, and it was all sent to me. So I can vouch for Amber and that's why I asked that question that way. Um, Geneva was setting her up to take the blame. And if you remember, Jules Big Mouth even said, "Oh, there was a video posted in Mountain Time and blah, blah." There was never a video posted in Mountain Time. I have that. I recorded that daily, multiple times a day. There was never a video posted in Mountain Times. So they were setting her up. And I have the picture or the text where Geneva was texting Amber and she never texted her back. And Geneva said, "Oh, I'm starting to feel like they used me again." So
Yep.
I will say that's true. So I will say that. Did Amber ask? Okay. Leon. Okay. Did you ask Amber if she's the Leon account?
What's the Leon account?
Yeah. I thought Geneva only admitted
Oh,
to
hang
calling
on.
cops.
Is that the account? Okay, so Brooke, oh, and this is another funny thing. Brooke received a pizza the same day that Geneva was reporting me to the West Jordan police. So tell me that's a coincidence. Anyhow, I
Right.
received a message from Brooke back on, I believe it was November 20th. I think that's the day I was reported. Right around November 20th, 21st is when Geneva reported me to the West Jordan Police Department. And Brooke had sent me a message with the receipt for the pizzas. And so I said, "Are you online?" And she's like, "Huh? I was just reading blanks blank with John as if you didn't know." And I'm like, "Sorry, I'm not watching you. I don't know what's going on. Give me a, what's going on?" And she asked me, I think she called me and asked me about some specific account in John's, and I don't know if it's the Leon account or not, but, whatever account that was in John Yates, apparently they were pretending to be me or something like that, and I don't know if that's the Leon account or not. It sounds somewhat familiar, but no, that's not me.
Mm. Um, Give me 1 second. I want to see if I can get. See anybody else. Hey, Michelle. What is the avatar for Leon? I can't remember what the avatar for Leon is. Give me 1 second. Let me mute for
Mhm.
just a second. Okay. And then the Penelope stuff.
Mhm.
What did Geneva do to Penelope?
She had looked up information on Penelope about a divorce, child custody case, and she'd given the information to somebody, and I can't remember who it was. She'd given the information to somebody so that somebody could drag Penelope on a live about it. And there was some dispute back and forth about what the parenting classes were for, trying to make it look like Penelope was a bad parent because she had to go to a parenting class. But most states now have it where if you're divorced, both parents have to take classes, just kind of preemptively to show, like, hey, don't do these things because it could affect your kids as part of your divorce. And so I can't remember who went live about it and drugged Penelope. And I almost want to say the documents ended up on Reddit, but I can't remember. But it was like a docket of Penelope's divorce case where it had the different entries from, this person did this parenting seminar and this parent did this, seminar. And so it was her divorce docket from her um, divorce case.
Wow. And did she give it? Did she give it to Whitney?
I don't know for sure. I
Oh.
I honestly can't remember because I didn't know enough about Penelope. I actually didn't put the dots together until last night when we were communicating, when I pulled up the record that had been sent to me. And then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, some of this is coming back to me now." And so that's when I put it together of who it was. So I don't know if it was given to Whitney. All I know is that it was a big to do about the parenting class that Penelope had to take, which I'm assuming was a just the normal thing that all divorcing parents had to take.
Mm, okay. And even like as close as Penelope and I are, I didn't know anything like that. I vaguely remember it being mentioned, but Penelope has never said anything to me about it. I never asked either. It's not my business. I would never ask Penelope anything like that either. As far as like pictures in a Google docs on Penelope. Do you know anything about that, or would you say that it's true? Or
Of her having a Google Doc with Penelope in it.
yeah, and
I
pictures of Penelope's kid?
I can't say anything for 100% because as far as her Google Drive, she had sent me the link to her Google Drive and told me that I could add to it. And I'm like, what? And this was fairly early into having been put in communication with her. And
Wow.
so I opened up the Google Drive, and the first file that was there was a file on Napa, and it had information. Ooh, I hate saying this. So I please forgive me, Napa. It has information, news articles about Napa's stepson's death.
Wow.
Um, and that was the first thing that I saw in her Google Drive. And then after that, I deleted the link because I didn't want to have anything to do with putting things in her Google file. So as far as who's in there, what's in there, I don't know. Um, I'm assuming based on all of the information she has that she's cataloged it somehow because I don't know how you would be able to get to that information quickly if you hadn't had it cataloged in a certain way.
Yeah, I heard that Google Doc was nasty. I heard it was terrible and disgusting.
I have been sent pictures of your kids' PMR. I've been sent information about their jobs. I, I honestly, if we got on the phone, I could probably have a conversation with your kids about you as if we had known each other for 25 years, to be honest with you.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Last I heard, she had contacted your job, the one that your daughter worked at. I think the two of you worked there together. She found your daughter there first, then she found out that you worked there. Then she emailed them about the bolo. She emailed the Chris person in the technical department a couple times about the bolo. Um, then she said that she had a lawyer contact them. I don't believe that she had a lawyer contact them, or if she did, she does have a friend that's like a copyright lawyer or some type of lawyer like that who occasionally has done things for her. So if she had a lawyer contact, it would have been that friend of hers, not somebody that she could have afforded to pay.
Wow. Do you know if she has any information on Rainbow, or is she looking up any?
I don't know because I have only seen Rainbow, the last, you know, probably 2 weeks is when I've noticed Rainbow. So I don't know if Rainbow is a new username of somebody else, but I don't know anything about Rainbow or who they are or if she's looking for them. Last I knew was she was looking for E11 and had found her Etsy shop online, and they were looking for habanero.
One second. Let me make sure. Oh, you
The
can
Georgia
keep going.
I did wanna make sure, like, I made it very clear that Genevra's police said that any information that was obtained legally can be passed around, can be posted, can be talked about, can be shared, and, if anybody has concerns, they can contact that mental health crisis team of hers, just to deal with that.
Hi
Patty, is that you?
guys, how are
Okay.
you?
Good. How are
It's
you?
me. It's me. Sorry, I'm not showing my face. I have eyelashes on my nose. Hello.
Hello, who's this?
Oh no, I can't hear you.
It's
Hello.
Daddy's disappointment.
Can you hear
Oh, yeah.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You there, daddy?
Can you hear me? I'm here. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi. Hi. Sorry,
Hi.
I'm not showing my face. It's the Lord's Day.
Okay,
How are you? It's so nice to have a conversation with you, Amber C. I'm
right?
actually going to piggyback off of PMR's HR and the bolo. The bolo was real, and the person that she doxed from PMR's work, I actually had a conversation with him about Jenny, and it was unprovoked because I've met him. I actually went out on a date with him,
Oh, no.
and I can verify that it is true, all of it, though she denies it, just like you did. And yeah, the bolo was real. The work was contacted. That's absolutely true. Through an email, and it was traced, and we had a nice conversation about it.
The email to the person to I'm
About PMR's work threatening. I can't remember. It was a long time ago, but um, yeah, I can't remember why we went into the chat asking for like, why don't you drop the link? Let's have a conversation. But what she's really good is stirring shit and running. Everybody is on
right.
her neck. It's kind of like it's serendipitous for me because I would get in there like
Mhm.
drop the you like to talk a lot of shit, like let's drop the link, let's do this. And she would never do it. She would run from me, she would block me, all of this. And so yeah. I do have some questions. Do you have any knowledge of the text messages that PMR and I were getting?
I know that she talked about them. She denied them, but I do know that she was spoofing PMR for absolute sure because she would tell me that. As far as I know there were some with really bad content. I don't know if those were her or if those were someone else, but I do know that she would routinely spoof PMR, Brooke. She sent a lot of stuff to John Yates using a spoof number. I don't know if she sent things to you specifically. I didn't hear as much about you, although when the fires in California were going on, she would send me this play by play of these maps of where the fire was versus where your house was and how close it was to your house. And then she sent you a message about saying staying safe or whatever, and water under the bridge, all that garbage.
Okay, that message never happened. And yes, the fires were close and we were evacuated that year. But I never received those text messages. The last text message I got from her was when Brooke was drunk on panel. Sorry, Brooke, water under the bridge, so to speak, on New Year's Eve, yelling at Kendra. And I popped into Brooke's chat saying, why don't you drop the link so we could have a conversation? And Brooke said, I'm protecting my peace. And that was the last conversation or the last text message I got from her. And it didn't even go anywhere. Like I knew she was just trying to stir the pot with Brooke, using Brooke as like
Mhm.
a weapon. But the fires happened like 2 weeks after that. So yes, I mean that's kind of weird that she would be play by play because the fires were literally across the street from my house.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and
that's wild. You would even know that, but
yeah, according to her, she
again, I
sent you a
didn't even
message
advertise. I don't.
when you were having to evacuate and telling you to stay safe and this, that, and the other about the fire. So, but that's another thing I'm learning is she says that she's having these conversations with all of these different people, and then these different people are like, nope, didn't happen. But I actually wanted to ask you about how you were saying about how you had spoken to the person about the tracing of her IP, this, that, and the other. I'm a little confused about that. Are you talking about they traced her IP and you talked to the person that traced her IP, or you talked to the person that sent the emails for her?
Yes. What happened with her, and I kind of don't want to give away the names and
Mhm.
redox this person. He's a great guy, nice guy. What happened with her was kind of she ended up sending an email to PMR's work about something, and I can't remember where it came, if it went to PMR, who then brought it who brought it to her representatives in HR or like upper management. I'm trying to remember and rack my brain. And because they were aware, because the bolo had already been released or was getting released at this time, they did bring it to the IT company, who is the man that was able to try. He did kind of like ping the IP, but it kept going to a place in Vegas because of it, but then ended up finding her through a credit card. I don't know. I that's not really my wheelhouse or my language, but they were able to trace it to her. And then I ended up visiting PMR the next week, went to her office. That's where I met him. We were kind of like, oh yeah, this crazy, like talking about the crazy girl. And he brought it up in conversation. And then we ended up going out a little bit later after that. So, it was like, it is what it is. So it was searched because he brought it up. He even mentioned her by name. And how would he even have this kind of, I mean, I guess he could have had a conversation, but he was like, oh yeah, telling me about the steps he did
Right.
to
Okay.
track it down. And PMR wouldn't have this information. So it was an unprovoked conversation, me visiting PMR at work and then it
Right.
happening.
Yeah. So after that, long after the bolo, then she contacted the work basically saying, I'm going to sue you if this happened. I want you to confirm if this bolo was real and if you posted it nationwide. And she said supposedly she had emailed them a couple times and him separately with his email address, emailed him asking if it was real or if it was fake. And then she said after that, even she had had a lawyer contact PMR's work to find out if the bolo had been posted nationwide.
That bolo was posted nationwide. That was another conversation. But no, she never contacted him personally because I would have heard about it because we had an ongoing, even though distance was a thing, we still
Mhm.
had an ongoing thing. And like he would have kept that line of communication, if not with me,
Right.
definitely with her. But yeah, no, the bolo did happen. He was a real person at a job that she did docs on Rakin's panel. I don't think Rakin had any idea of that. Yeah, but it was Trace. He did talk to me about it. He did mention it. He didn't act like he was just completely dumbfounded. He knew the history and we had a decent conversation over it. So, yeah, I'm still a little perplexed by the fact that she knew the whereabouts of this fire because I wasn't exactly advertising that I was evacuated. I usually don't do that stuff and air my personal stuff out on YouTube aside from
Yeah.
this.
She knows exactly where you live.
I mean, that's cool. It is what it is. But no, I never got any more text messages, but I'm definitely like interested in hearing all of this other stuff. I mean, can I know we touched briefly on how the list was acquired. So I'm assuming Geneva gave Maria her list and you gave
Well,
Brooke
and there's
yours. Is
yes,
is
and there's a
that
couple different
correct?
versions of the list. And so depending on which list you're looking at, there may be a difference of people. And then, like I said, I removed the kids, the people that I knew were kids off of the one that I sent to Brooke. But for the most part, it should be most of the same information, most of the same people. And when I was talking to Brooke about it, because Brooke was asking me about specific people, like how did this person get on there? How did this person get on there? Who's this person? And you could kind of tell the people that were the people that I had had issues with because of Yahoo Boy, because of Brooke, because of the group that I was in way back then. It was pretty obvious, with communicating with Brooke of like, okay, these people are these old people from that specific, whatever was going on. And Brooke knew who those people were. And then the rest of the people on the list, it is people that Geneva has issues with, like Pippi, Kirsten, all of these people that she has issues with. It's information that she's gathered on them. Um, so I don't know what more you want to know other than
That's kind of what I figured how everything happened, that it was just a collection of like people you knew, people she knew, and then she passed over the people that she didn't like to Maria. And I think I'm under the impression, and I could be wrong, and Brooke can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you just gave the whole list to Brooke, and Geneva picked and chose who she wanted
I
to give to Maria because she knows Maria is going to use it as bait. And I also wanted to touch on the topic. I know you didn't know my daughter was on that list, and I don't fault you or even blame you. Also giving it to Brooke.
right,
Brooke is
and
a
that
safe space.
yeah, and
Maria
even though
isn't.
Brooke and I have had issues, um, I know Brooke, like, I knew sending that to Brooke, she was not gonna be like, "Oh, look what I've got my hands on." She was gonna be like, "Oh," and then when she did talk to me, she asked the appropriate questions like, "Who's this? Who's this? Why are they on there? Why are they on there?" You know? And then, like I said, I took Muzz's sister's children off of the list when I sent it, just because I didn't feel that there was any need that those little kids needed to be on there. I have had messages with Muzz, and I believe I let her know that. I can't recall because it's kind of a
Okay.
yeah.
So I want to bring it another conversation back to the website and the IP address. Who docs the cottage boys? Because the rumor was it was you and Drazzo. Can you confirm that, how can that have happened to dox the
Well, and
cottage boys?
so this is all a little weird because I don't even know if she was ever doxxed or not. I know that back when this happened, when people are saying that me and Drazo doxed her, Muzz was involved in that. Mims was involved in that. And there was the cottage boys. And I'm kind of like, some of this is like I'm trying to stretch my memory to remember exactly. But there was a person on Reddit that was harassing Drazo. And somehow it came out that it was attached to the Cottage Boys. And I knew who the Cottage Boys was, and Yahoo knew who the Cottage Boys was, and there was a handful of people that knew. And so I contacted Mims because she also knew. And I said, there's this whatever goings on with Drazo and this person online. He thinks it's the Cottage Boys, this, that, and the other, whatever. And that's where I left it, other than telling Drazo, hey, I'm being told that it's the Cottage Boys, whatever, whatever. He got in contact with Muzz, who was friends with the Cottage Boys, and Drazo had a back and forth with Muzz about, oh, whatever, the Cottage Boys is, harassing him online or whatever. And I guess he made a threat to Muzz, and I've seen the messages. He made some kind of threat to Muzz about the Cottage Boys getting doxxed if she didn't quit. And then my understanding, and I've never verified this, my understanding is he went directly through to the Cottage Boys through Muzz, and they worked out their differences. So I don't know that she ever got doxxed. I didn't dox her, but there were a handful of people from the old days, like Mims, like Yahoo, like a couple other people in that group that knew who the Cottage Boys was and had known for years who she was.
Okay. I mean, she didn't get publicly doxxed, but her information was spread around because I even saw it, and I'm a non-player. I'm a personality, but I'm not a player. And
Mhm.
I feel like that line needs to be drawn, because sometimes I get sucked into stuff, and I know I've been blamed for a lot of stuff, but clearly there's been no receipts. Hold on, Irish, if you want to take over, I'll mute and probably think of something. But Amber, I do want to say I really appreciate you coming on this panel and answering questions. And I really admire the strength that it takes to answer the hard questions. And you sound very firm in what you're saying. And so I really appreciate you giving us this opportunity to ask these questions.
Yeah. I know that Muzz was upset that she didn't get to ask more questions when I was on Brooke's panel. But when I went on that panel, I really was only planning on being there for a few minutes, just to, go over the accounts that Geneva was and that she was lying about. I was just really going to be up there for that short amount of time. And then after all the goings on, Muzz felt like she didn't get to ask the different questions. And so Brooke passed my information to Muzz with my permission. And Muzz, we've had a couple of different conversations, but um, she's not getting all of the answers she wants because some answers I just don't have to give her. Some information is just not there. It was either a conversation or something on StreamYard where it's like I don't have physical proof of whatever it is that had gone on. And so there's a little bit of frustration, and I get that, but it is what it is.
Well, let's be honest. That was a chaotic stream and there was no way anybody was going to get all of the information. It was a lot to absorb. It was a long stream. It was a lot to take care of. So nobody was going to get all of their answers and nobody probably even had great questions at that time because the shock of it all and the impact of you and Geneva being on panel and all this stuff just being exposed and Maria and Anne, all of it. It was a chaotic stream. So I don't understand why Muzz would be upset by not being able to ask those questions because number one, wasn't appropriate. There was so much going on. I mean, when stuff dies down, maybe it's a good time to come back and say, all right, let's revisit this. So I mean, that's a little weird. But another question I
Well,
had, how
no,
did Marie
I'm not saying anything bad about her because I get her perspective where she wants to know different things. And, people are like, well, is Amber going to ever come on a live again? This may be our only chance that she's ever on a live or XYZ. And I never planned on being involved in any of this. You kind of get dragged into it, and then it's like, okay, I'm in this for the long haul because now what do I do? Because I was also being threatened. George and George and Brooke both know the things that I was being threatened with, and at the time that I was being threatened, it was mid process, and so I was not able to come online and say anything because of the things that were going on. Now that all of that is over and I don't have to worry about the threats or, the misinformation or, she's still going to spread her misinformation, but I don't care. I can stand with who I am and know what I've been through, and she can, do all she wants with all her rumors and her false things. But she does need to be careful because if you falsely accuse somebody of something in Utah that they haven't done, you can be charged with 1 degree less of what that crime is. And so if she wants to keep throwing out these accusations and claiming them as fact, she can do that, but it will come back at her. And so at the time that I was on Brooke's panel, I wasn't able to stay on and talk about a lot of things and deal with a lot of things. And I had a lot on my plate that I was dealing with. Now that that stuff's behind me and, I don't have to worry about, the different things that are going on. If she needs me to get on, with Brooke, if she needs me to get on with George or any of these other people and set some things straight, I can do it now. I've got all the time in the world.
Awesome. That's really great to hear. And I think a lot of people would appreciate that because they deserve either answers or closure. Can you give us information on how Geneva would start obtaining all this information? For me, I remember being doxxed on my birthday, no less, fully doxxed with like my name and my address on Reddit. And I was like, well, I don't even have my like legal name on social media. And I've never clicked links that she sent me because I just never cared enough. Do you know how she was able to collect these people's information? I know you mentioned it was the website, but were there other ways?
Honestly, Google and court websites are the best ways. And once you have somebody's email address or their phone number, it's pretty easy to find something because everybody is attaching their email addresses or their phone numbers to something, whether it's their social media whether it's, some court document, different things. And the other thing that the best way to get information is as you're going through the live chats and people are talking, and say like that rainbow person was up here earlier saying, oh, do you know anything about me or whatever. Well, basically what you can do is when that person's in a chat, you ask them questions or you watch to see what they volunteer. um, so somebody will say, oh, I'm from Massachusetts, and oh, I went to eat at this place, and oh, I whatever, I'm this age, or I'm this age, or I was born in this year. And you can start just collecting data about these people, and eventually you can pretty much put together the whole profile by data that they've given you themselves, just in a live chat or something like that. I mean, you see all the time when someone's like, hey, how are you doing? Or, how's the weather where you are? Or different things like that. And you build up these relationships with these people where they start to trust you, and you can pretty much get any information out of these people just in the live chat because you're all just being friendly with each other.
I think this is a great warning to people how they interact in chat and the information. I think it's valuable that you're giving this information because now we can be more diligent on how we protect ourselves, because unfortunately this is a community that we've learned from Geneva, from Maria, that we do have to protect ourselves. And for me, luckily, my only court records were my divorce and things that included my minor children. So I think if Jenny was smart, she wouldn't touch any of that information. But I also have a petty question, if I may. So
Can I say
Jolene
one thing before you?
outed everything.
Can I say one thing, Daddy, before you ask that? I also just want to say
Of
you can
course.
also Google somebody's username on YouTube, and that's how I was able to find Snurk's information. I literally Googled Snurk32. Her name came up with a Flickster. Da 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 da. You Google from there. Um, so I was able to see that her maiden last name was blah blah. Her name is blah blah. It was her maiden name. Then you just go over, it gives you, your family information. Then I found her husband's name, and then I was able to get Snurk's all of Snurk's information. And did I pass that along to anybody? No, no, I did not. But also, I just wanted to say that you guys, please be careful. And every now and then, just Google your username and see what pops up from there. And I'm going to mute and let Daddy go.
I'm sorry, George, if I just took over your stream. I'm so
You're fine.
I'm actually invested in this. But here's my petty question. When Jolene outed all of Geneva's stuff, how did she react? What was her, because that's the night that my spoof text started. And I continued to get them for maybe a year and a half. Can you
Daddy,
give me some insight on
you're breaking up
oh,
really, really bad, Dad. And I know that is an important question, and I know you want to. I know.
let me get out?
Yeah.
I'll go back.
Okay. Okay.
And while we're waiting for her to come back, Jenny's on her community tab, doxing PMR again, and talking about where I live again. And oh, yes, she has the right police department. Well, Geneva, I've been in contact with them. I was in contact with them today. I was in contact with them last week. They've pulled my driver's license. They know where I live, and they know it's not Layton. They know it hasn't been for 24 years. And they've also pulled your driver's license information and attached it to the file so that if you do call them, they already have a heads up of what you're doing. So my elderly mother isn't going to be swatted at your enjoyment.
Yeah, Maria's been on her community tab blasting me. She posted my mom. I don't care, Maria, that my mom is beautiful. I love my mom. You're not doing anything by hurting me by that. And I was a cute little baby.
The other thing I wanted to say is this YouTube community and this Reddit community is so tiny compared to the rest of the world's population. Who cares what they're doing, what they're putting on their community tabs, what they're posting on Reddit? Not a single person in my entire life has come up to me and said, "Oh my gosh, I heard about you on the YouTube," or "I heard about you on the Reddit." It's like such a small, minuscule part of the population that who cares if they run amok, unless you're bringing it to your friends or to your family and saying, "Hey, look what's going on here." Most anybody is never going to go and be like, "Oh my gosh, I found you on YouTube," or "I found you on Reddit. Guess what?" You know? So,
Right. And it's only going to hurt them more than it's going to hurt us. Like, if Maria hasn't noticed, Maria, I don't give a fuck what you do. You can post whatever you want. I'll send you my nudes, Maria, and you can post them. I don't give a fuck. There's only one person that if you dox or show, it's going to be World War III for you, Maria. And you guys have not found him yet. Um, Other than that, Maria, you have more to lose than I do. And the thing is, I have proof that Carlos is illegal. And if I wanted to call ICE and do that and he gets deported, Maria, it's going to hurt you more than me because you now are going to have to pay rent by yourself. You're going to have to pay 100% of that by yourself. So I would just shut up, Maria, and I'd fall all the way back if I was you. And you can hit me with that racist shit if you want to. I'm just stating the facts on you. So if you think by going low on me, I can't go lower with you, check again. You go low, I am not Michelle Obama. If you go high, I'm going low. When you go low, I'm dragging you to the fiery pits of hell, Maria. So keep posting and see what's next for you. But I'm going to mute and let you two go.
the other thing is Geneva can keep posting because the police departments that I've contacted, they all have her YouTube channel. They've all pulled up her YouTube channel. She sits and says, "Oh, this person's harassing me. I'm in danger." Yet they go scroll through her community tab and see everybody that she's having issues with and how she is inciting hate against all of these people and, whatever she's doing on her YouTube tab, it's like, well, I don't even have to say much because it all is right there for them to see. They can see exactly what she's doing, what she's posting, what she's saying. So, I mean, go for it. You're just building your own grave about that false police report you filed in West Jordan. Because if you're inciting people on the internet, you're really not scared of them, are you?
Am I better?
Yeah, you're better.
Hello? Okay. So I'm going to piggyback off of George's comment. It is not my job to police how George deals with whatever has been going with how people have been harassing and bullying him. But I will say I'm against the ICE thing because I'm against it because Maria's husband and family did nothing to us. And so I come from the stance, as long as she leaves my family out of it, I'll leave her family out of it and we can keep it to community tabs. But fuck you, Maria. But her family hasn't done anything to anybody to deserve that. And going to the ICE route, it hurts my core because more people would be affected than just Maria. And it's nobody's fault that Maria is this way except Maria. And so that's going to be my stance. But
Right.
now back to my
Those are
Jolene
my
question.
thoughts. Those are my thoughts and my thoughts only. But I'm not playing with you, Maria. And it has nothing to do with anybody else other than you. Good luck paying that rent by yourself once a month.
And I understand what George is going through, and I'm not here to police his actions. I am here to love and support him and, do whatever he feels the need to do. He respects my opinion. I respect his. This is what a healthy connection, friendship, parasocial relationship, the big words you want to use but don't understand. That's what it's about. So, can we bring it back to the night Jolene outed everything and my spoof text started?
Oh, and I don't know about what that is. What happened?
So I guess what happened, it was a couple days before New Year's Eve, 2020, it was 2024, a couple days before New Year's Eve. Geneva, I guess, went on John Yates's panel and started putting a lot of blame on Jolene being in this messy John Yates bullshit, which Jolene was never involved, ever. But she kind of started, doing what Geneva does best, is putting whatever she's done onto other people. She's done it to me. She's done it to PMR. She's done it to Muzz. She's done it to you. She tried to do it to Jolene. Jolene said, oh, hell no, went live, had me on there. I played Jenny and, read all of their text messages, outing everything. And as soon as I was on panel, after she realized what was happening, I started getting the text messages. Drop down, or I'm telling John this. I never dropped down. I said, Jenny, if you got something to say, click the fucking link. I'm here. You can find me here. And then I just got, spoof texts for the next year and a half. And it was always, and then I got phone calls. She got bold and started getting phone calls, but I think she had like a voice changer. First, she would always do it when I worked my double shift, which I know she knew about. And so in the middle of the night when I had to keep my phone on because of my job, she would call, and sometimes she would put an air horn in when I'd have to answer my phone. And then sometimes she would talk about this daughter that I apparently had in Texas that my parents were raising, that I only have two children and I've raised them by myself. There's not a third child, but then she would ask questions and kind of mask her voice in a way, but the mask slipped one point and I knew it was her. And a lot of times there were text messages where I would bait her with information, but I've only outed one portion of our text messages. Nothing of any information, but then she would be in Seawitch chat the next day talking about what those text messages entailed, saying, they have this, they have that. And it was like, well, how did you know if you weren't those text messages? So I guess it's a two-parter, more of the Jolene reaction.
The problem, the only thing I know about her and Jolene is that her and Jolene were in the DMs and she wanted to be really good friends with Jolene, and she has a very she's jealous of you and your relationship with Jolene. And so she's got nothing good to say about Jolene, drags her, talks bad about her, but it really just comes down to her jealousy of not being included in the ladies night out at the stand-up club to watch Jolene or whatever. You're dealing with a person that um, she really has nothing to look forward to. She's dirt poor. She lives in a one-bedroom apartment. She has nobody that wants to do anything with her. It is 24/7 this garbage. And she's had multiple strokes. She's on disability. Um, she really has nothing better to do than harass people online and to cause problems online. That is literally all she has to live for.
I was unaware about any medical history of Geneva. Geneva, I hope you recover and I hope you do well.
Well, and that's the thing, is when you are friends with her, she trauma dumps everything on you. She sent me her mother's death certificate, the car that her mother went over the cliff in, her own medical records. It's insanity, all of the things that she will send you, and it's all about feeling sorry for her, and what a sad life she has, and how all of these friends of hers dumped her. I mean, it's it's just unreal. It's just insanity at best.
I feel like it's safe to assume that your relationship with Geneva was a lot different than mine, because she never dumped on me. We typically only commiserated about John Yates and the chaos that was happening at that point of time in his life. I think I realized everything she was in when Amber read her text messages when Mims went at her for the very first time. And that's when she posted Mims' son on Reddit that I had the text message to verify it was her account. And that's the only thing I've ever given Brooke. And I would do it again because, she posted someone's adult son, but someone's child nevertheless. And that was, I've lost my train of thought. but I never really had the relationship that you were describing with her. Oh, can you look this up? Can you look that up? She never asked me to do this stuff. I was completely blindsided when I figured out everything was going on. And people were like, you knew, you knew. No, I didn't know. We weren't that. I mean, I thought we were friends, but we usually just commiserated, or, parasocial friends. We usually just commiserated back and forth about John and how problematic he was. And, not knowing the other side of things and what they were doing to him.
Well, and I think there's I can't explain it exactly because I wasn't friends with her before, but having been in communication with some of her friends from the Discord and with Drazo, in my mind, there's a pre-stroke and a post-stroke era with Ginevra. And she may have been a little bit different before she had her strokes. I got her after the strokes, and it was kind of like Drazo pawning her off on me. However, I didn't know that was what was happening. But pretty shortly after he introduced her to me, he had a whole bunch of negative things to say about her, and then he blocked her. And then she would beg me, like, oh, I want to be in communication with him, and I want to be in communication with and this person, they said this. And it was a lot of, like very immature, like, um, I can't get along with anybody, and so I need you to advocate for me and make these people be friends with me, is kind of how it was. And she just, as soon as you kind of try to put her in check, that's when the threats come out. Like right now, because I'm sitting here talking to you guys, she's on her community tab, talking about my minor child, things that she doesn't know about, things that she is twisting. And there's documentation to show that she is twisting, but she thinks, oh, I can hurt these people by saying this, and they have nothing that they can prove otherwise. Or I can say this, and there's nobody that can dispute it. And so it's just, I don't know how or when she chooses which people she's going to ask to help get stuff. That's specifically how she was introduced to me. Is when Drazo introduced me, it was to find information on a specific person that was on the outskirts in coming into the community. And so I figured I would communicate with her a handful of times, give her information, let her know what I knew, find out what she knew. But it ended up being this, I don't know even know if it was like 2 years, year and a half, 2 years, however long I've known her. But it's just one person after the next, after the next, after the next. It's never ending. Once she finds out all the information about one person and exposes everything about them, then she moves on to the next one, then she moves on to the next one, then she moves on to the next one. Even now, she's in this group of people who she thinks are her friends, and oh, they're protecting me. But she's already given me all of their information. Like, I have all their court cases, I have all their family's information. Like, if they knew the stuff that she had already done to them and had provided about them, they wouldn't have a thing to do with her.
Girl, they know, they don't care.
Maybe. Maybe.
They know, but the information she can bring is more valuable than the information she's already brought about them. They don't care. They see their hungry bull, and they're hoping it'll take charge. Can we talk about timelines? So you said stroke after stroke. When were you friends with her?
So I wish I had my phone down here so I could scroll back and tell you. Hang on, let me see if I can look.
George, again, I apologize for taking over your stream chat. I'm sorry as well. I'm not looking at
Casa su
chat, so if there's
casa. Mi casa su casa.
Gracias, amigo. Gracias. If there's any questions that I'm not looking at chat, so I'm sure there's a bunch of questions in there. So George, feel free to like chime back in because I'm not reading chat. I love everybody
Yeah,
to get questions answered because there's a lot of unanswered questions and we just want
I
to move
agree.
on.
And I think everybody deserves some justice somewhere for Geneva. And I've always said that. And I also said, I feel like if somebody is being blamed for the shit Geneva has done, I feel like they deserve their chance and an opportunity where they can get that lifted off their back and hopefully move on with people and not be weighed down by the stuff Geneva has done. And shame on anybody who is
I
giving Geneva a place. Shame on them.
I want to say it was 2023, like maybe spring 2023, roughly, is when Drazzo first introduced her to me.
Okay, by chance, do you remember? Because I was 2022. Do you by chance remember when her and Mims started going at it and then Amber read all of her messages? Because it was those messages that Amber read on TL's live that I realized how in deep she was and was like, I need to start backing off here.
Um, that was done before. Okay, so Amber R doxed Geneva first, and that was before my time. That was before I met her.
Okay, so I was a little bit before you, so that might track on why I got and PMR got a different version of Geneva, because we were never aware or privy to what was going on. I mean, yeah, we didn't know, we didn't have any idea, and then it wasn't, and PMR had already walked away at that point, and I was there kind of just, I know she was plotting and making plots of trying to accuse PMR of posting Brooke's son, and that's where Brooke and PMR started talking. Do you have any knowledge of that?
That was before my time too. And so, okay, when Brooke's son was posted, I wasn't involved with any of this stuff at all, due to my ex-husband filing for divorce. And I walked away from everything and everyone. Um, there was a couple people that I stayed in
Congratulations on the
with.
divorce.
I know, right? I know. There was a couple of people that I stayed in contact with because they had been loyal friends and we were friends outside of what was going on online. And so I got a message from Yahoo Boy, and he actually sent me the video of Brooke's kid and is like, look at this. This was posted on Reddit. And I'm like, what the heck? And then the next thing I know, Amber R was actually playing part of it as part of that live where Brooke was talking about it. And then her son comes into view. So that's how I originally found out that that had even happened is Yahoo Boy had sent me a text about it, and then he had told me, "Hey, go watch Amber's live." And so I went and watched it. That's the first time I knew about it, and it was like the day that it happened is when he contacted me, and then whenever Amber went live, I think it was that day, but it could have been the day after, I don't know. And so it was kind of just an isolated thing. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. How horrible, whatever. And then end of story. And then later on, when Mims and I got in contact with each other, we had communicated about it, and she said that she had fought with Geneva about it. I know that there were other things that she had fought with Geneva about posting her son online and whatever else, but I don't know who knew what and who was involved in what, and I don't know exactly when Geneva was doxxed by Amber. She told me about it after the fact when we were talking about Amber R.
Okay, because to when that happened, I know PMR and her were friends, and then there was some mucky water between them. PMR stepped away from the friendship. I kept it good with Geneva, but Geneva kept trying to convince me that PMR posted, and I go, PMR would not do that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But she kept laying veiled threats, saying it was PMR, blaming responsibility of that on PMR, which we all know PMR doesn't stand for any of that. So PMR finally, after about 6 months, went to Brooke, said, hey, I just want you to know this is what's happening. I'm not saying she did it, but she's trying to been putting it on me. And it's been 6 months of this. And then that's when they started talking. And then Brooke went for Geneva's jugular.
Mhm.
So that was the timeline on that. But again, there's a pattern of Geneva doing things and blaming other people without receipts. And she's done it to PMR, she's done it to Muzz, she's tried to do it to me. I mean, we could go through it. She's done it to you. We could go through a list of, oh, well, this person's more involved than they are, but doesn't really have any proof of it. So, I mean, with history and a pattern, it makes you think, okay, well, we know that Reddit and spoof text are Geneva's wheelhouse. And so if we get a spoof, we automatically know it's Geneva and Reddit too. And I
Right.
kind of knew like we've never had any. We maybe crossed paths because I know Home Depot Jen, and that's
Mhm.
maybe like by proxy. I don't think you would go out for my neck and dox me on Reddit or do half the shit that's happened to me on Reddit because I'm friends with Home Depot Jen. I just don't
Yeah.
think that's like it. I mean, things are crazy in this sphere, but I just don't think that. And so the only person who would want my blood as bad as Geneva, she probably wants to smear my period blood all over her face,
Mhm.
is her. And so she would do the things, and then I would get gaslit into, oh, that didn't happen, or oh, well, nobody would have known that that was your daughter's name if you didn't say anything. And it's like, excuse me, like, but don't try to put the like, you have this information. Don't try to gaslight me like I am the idiot for saying, hey, that's my daughter's name. Bet me, dare me, try it.
Yeah.
So, and minimize the fact that that lists even exist and in Maria's hands, who we already know her history with children.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Anything that was on the list, and Brooke, I think, can tell you that it's basically names, addresses, email addresses, a couple dates of birth, anything that anybody could find online without too much of a search. There's nothing really, private or, oh my gosh, I can't believe they found that. Um, and I guess for me, I don't know. For me, when all of this back with Yahoo Boy and all of the things with me getting involved, one of the very first things was my kids got doxxed, my address got, my house got posted, pictures of me from high school. And it's like, okay, like, what? Like, okay. Um, and funny enough, Mims is one of the ones that posted my kids, and she had no idea whose kids they were or why she was doxing them when she did it. And so when her and I got in contact, I finally called her. She had left me a message, and because of me working for the lawyer, I couldn't tell her certain things. And the message she left me was specific questions. I want to know this. I want to know this. I want to know this. And I couldn't, answer the questions she wanted at the time. So once I was given the go ahead to talk about anything you want with whoever you want, she's the first person I called, and it kind of shocked her. And I'm like, "Hey, this is so and so. I hear you wanted to talk, and you've got some questions." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "You left me a voicemail. Let's go over your questions." And so we did. We went over every single questions because she had a lot of questions because she had been involved in the GoFundMe and the donating of money and different things back to that. And so she had a lot of different questions about it. So I answered all of her questions, and then after that we built up a friendship. And um you know um I don't know, just not quite sure where lost my train of thought on that, but it's like, communicating with her and telling her different things and having the freedom to be able to speak and tell her, what was going on, and then finding about other people, and then, oh, I know where it was, my kids. And so then we were, chit-chatting, and she was talking about her, daughter getting doxxed at the time. I'm like, "Ma'am, you doxed my kids." And she's like, "No, I didn't." I'm like, "You want me to send you the picture?" And she's like, "Yeah, because I didn't dox your kids." So I sent her the pictures from her Instagram account, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I had no idea." And I'm like, "It's fine. It's not a big deal. They look cute. It's no worries." But like, I didn't even know you or of your existence when I was in contact with Home Depot Jen. I vaguely remember her talking about PMR and PMR being a friend of hers, but I didn't even know about you until well after. And then it was kind of like you were a friend of PMR's after the fact. So back when I was involved in the first, things that went on, I didn't know who you were, even that you existed at that time.
I mean, that's great. I try to fly under the radar. I'll give a snarky opinion here or there in a chat, which I feel like we're all justified to do. But somehow, if I do it and I hit the nail on the head, everybody is outraged, or, trying to make things lighthearted and fun. Everybody is outraged. That's just where I'm at in life.
Yeah,
Can we go back to, so we can confirm that that Geneva did post Maria's Walmart receipts, right? Like the
absolutely.
Walmart.
Absolutely.
So that was
Absolutely.
Geneva. And did you get the obituary of Jules's mother?
I did not get that. That was before I was involved
Okay.
with this. That was
I'm sh-
Jules, Geneva had been friends with Jules and had been in the Hive. I don't even know if it was a Hive at the time. I think it was just I don't think she was the Hive yet. I think she was just Jules. And Geneva had gotten the obituary and had shared Jules's mom's obituary around. I still have never seen Jules's mom's obituary. Um,
but we can
so
confirm that Geneva got Jules's mom's obituary and
yeah,
shared it around,
Geneva,
even though you didn't
yes,
see
and
it.
yeah, she has admitted it. She has admitted that she was sharing it around. And the other thing
Okay,
is
did
Maria may know or she may not know, but Geneva was using Carlos's name and another gentleman's name that is an prior associate of Maria's and was going into Georgie Cat's live with those two names together, Maria's husband and the other male individual's name as one name to trigger Maria. Those were sent to Muzz. But Geneva also has every single court document of Maria's. Um, those have been sent around to people. Those have been shown on Reddit. But just so you know, Maria, all your court documents, all of them were pulled by Geneva. She submitted the FOIA. She sent the little couple dollars to pay for your records. Everything that you could possibly think of that are court records of yours, Geneva has, and they've been passed around.
do you know if it was her that called Brooks PO?
Geneva did. Both Siwa and Geneva have both admitted to that.
And can you explain a little bit more on why she went on a live talking about how she worked for a doctor that reached out to human resources and Brooke was on desk duty?
Well, I don't have uh, all of the pieces to that. So Geneva has never been a nurse. Um, Not quite sure what employer she was talking about, what director of medicine she was talking about, because she hasn't been a nurse. Um, my understanding is she worked in a clinic, one of her very first jobs, way at the beginning of her life. Don't know what she did for that doctor's office. It kind of sounds like maybe phone calls, receptionist kind of things. I don't know. But she's never been a nurse, so she obviously hasn't had her medical director contact Brooke's medical director. But I do know that one of Genevra's family members does work or did work in a healthcare facility. And so I'm wondering if that person made a call or if there never was a call and she was just setting that person up, to use that person to claim that she did that.
Can we bring it back to John Yates? Do you have any knowledge of when John had checked himself into a mental health facility, her getting into Epic Records or anything about that?
I don't know anything about that. I don't even, I hate to talk about his mental health issues because he clearly struggles with those and he has appropriate reasons for. I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but um he's been through a lot of trauma, and the way he has survived through that, he lashes out, and it's understandable. I'm not excusing him, but I can see why he's done some of the things he's done because of what he's been through. And so I try to steer clear of if he's been in a facility, if he hasn't been in a facility, what help he has or hasn't received. Um, I don't know. I don't know when he's been in facilities or any of that.
I know it was a difficult question and I appreciate your response. And I absolutely agree with you on your stance with John Yates. I was just asking, I mean, because at this time she was claiming to be a nurse. Now, she never said she looked him up to me, but there were rumors circulating that somebody looked him up. And we already know that she has this deep history. So I was wondering if you could just put any insight. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot or anything, and I apologize if you felt that way. I was just trying to maybe shed light to some things with like, it's been a long time and a lot of things have happened, and I'm trying to remember a lot of things, but can't. But I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I do agree
No,
with you on John Yates.
I think she
yeah.
took credit for that, like maybe like a year or two ago. Geneva took responsibility for that. She had somebody who has Epic. That's how she was able to get it. Now, who has the Epic? I don't know, but that's how Geneva was able to get it.
Well, and I want to say that the records she sent to me of her own were from Epic, but I would have to look at them again um, to tell you for sure. But I
I
know that
mean,
she did talk about Epic a lot because she was always complaining about, oh, Brooke, access to Epic and pulling her cancer records and this, that, and the other. So here's the deal, Rainbow Unicorn. I know you make fun of me about the crunch wraps and this, that, and the other, but honestly, there was a long time that I did have an extreme hate for John Yates because he did dox a lot of people, or so I had thought. He did dox some people, but then some of his hags were doxing people that he had no idea about. And it took several years outside of that to be able to understand what actions were his and what actions were other people. And I got to a place in my life where I knew the couple of things he did to me specifically. I felt like I got my skin back from him, and so occasionally I did send him McDonald's, I did send him Taco Bell, I did send him medication when he was sick. Um, and so, you know, I, you know, I don't harbor any hate or ill will towards him. Um, so, I mean, there's been a couple times where he's received McDonald's or Taco time or Taco Bell, whatever it is. And it's just kind of I'm over the things that were done to me. I don't have any feelings one way or the other about how he feels about me. Um, so it is what it is.
Problematic. Oh no, I lost my connection. I think so problematic. He was a perfect victim for some people.
When Daddy. Okay, here's go.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. I guess I got a surge. I don't know.
I'm not sure if Payne's comment is towards me or where it says she has stalked him for a decade.
Geneva.
Yeah, okay, because I wasn't quite sure because John was aware that Drazo and I were friends, and Drazo and I were friends for a good 3 to 4 years, and John was aware of it. Um, so I haven't stalked John for a year or for a decade, but other people definitely have. And had I ever wanted any information, Drazo could have given it, but I just never needed any information. Drazo and I had an independent relationship of John, and John respected that. I mean, he never told Drazo that, oh, you can't talk to her because I hate her or anything like that. And he never, Drazo never was like, oh, John hates you and he wants you to know this. There was never any of that. Um, so
I think I have any further questions. I can't really remember anything else. I mean, I'm trying, but I feel like I already know, and we're just kind of searching for confirmation and trying to make it all make sense.
Well, and the
And
thing is it's never going to make sense and it's never going to be over. I mean, for the simple fact that she's on her community tab saying, "Oh, the Layton police are documenting everything." No, they're not. All they've documented is what a lunatic she is, and that if she tries to have anybody sent to my mom's home, that they won't send anybody because it's swatting of Geneva. And the West Jordan police, they've already determined that they could not substantiate a single claim she made. So she does all this, show on her community tab. Oh, I've contacted the police, or oh, this case against you, or oh, I have this victim's advocate because of your police department. It's all just garbage. It's just, intimidation and, you know, she really has nothing else going for her.
Absolutely nothing. That woman is miserable. Miserable. How did she find Kendra? I believe she's the one who found Kendra, right?
Yeah, so this is funny, and I know Kendra. I've heard a couple of things where Kendra has, kind of dragged me because of it, and it's fine. It's kind of funny, but Siwa, me, and Geneva were on a StreamYard, and we were watching one of Kendra's lives, and it was where Kendra was in a hotel, and there was something green. I can't remember. It was the curtains, the walls. I can't recall. Something green. And Geneva was like, oh, she's in Portland, this, that, and the other. She could be found, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, oh, shoot, Kendra, be careful. And C was like, oh, nobody's going to be able to find her because of the hotel room. And so I'm like, Siwa, bring up Google and type in this. And so she typed in, and it brought up all of these different rooms in Portland, different color of hotel rooms based on the search of the green curtains or the green wall, whatever. And right smack there on the page was a room exactly like what Kendra was in. And so then Geneva was like, oh, this is the hotel she's in. And Geneva's like, this is right where it's at, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, Geneva got in contact with Kendra because the fourth floor at Geneva's apartment, they had a vacant apartment and they were getting it ready to rent about the same time. Kendra was saying that the place that she was working with had found an apartment for her because she was in the hotel for however long. And Geneva was worried that she was going to be her upstairs neighbor. So Geneva contacted her management and was like, hey, who you renting to, this, that, and the other. And then she contacted Kendra and she's like, hey, where are you going to be living? And it ended up that Kendra actually gave the information to Geneva because she thought she was being friends with her. And then Geneva is the one that went ahead and doxed Kendra.
Wow. Geneva, you have no life. Like, you are weird as fuck. I don't understand how the people you are with, the people that are in the chat with you, I don't understand how they want to share a space with her. Like, that's crazy. Like,
Well, and Brooke asked me, Brooke texted me and she's like, how in the heck were you friends with her with all of this going on? And to be honest with you, when I first met her, when Drazo first introduced her, was like, whatever, it's just this one mission, so to speak, if you want to call it that. And because Drazo had asked me to, and he and I were really good friends, I was like, okay, you know. And then after that, a lot of things happened in my personal life that were absolutely devastating. And I was suffering from PTSD, like legitimate trauma and PTSD. And once I was able to get on the other side of that, it's like, oh, hell no, I do not want to be involved in any of this. And because I had so much going on and so much coming at me from so many directions at the time all of this was going on, this stuff was kind of more on the periphery for me, where it's like, oh, will you look up this person? Oh, yeah, I've got 5 minutes. I'll look this up. Oh, will you do this? Oh, well, will you do that? I mean, I was constantly going, 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 going. And it wasn't until one of my attorneys told me, like, you need some help. You have PTSD, you have severe trauma, you need help because of all the things I was going through. And so then, work through that. And now it's like, okay, I don't have to worry about this person threatening me. I don't have to worry about them outing my business. I do not care. I know where I stand as a human being. And if they want to go twist things on, their community tab and say, oh, the police are documenting, whatever. It's just another lie. It's just one lie after another lie after another lie. And so, I mean, proven today. If anybody wants to give the Layton police a call, you can give them a call, and you can sure see that not only does Geneva not have a case with them, she hasn't made a report with them, and they aren't documenting anything.
mm. Hey, Muzz is here and she wants to talk. The only thing that I ask is just please be respectful, Muzz. We're just up here just talking and just trying to get answers. And I know you probably want some answers too, Muzz. And also, Muzz, people will have questions as well. I'm going to mute so you guys can talk. Just please be respectful. Wait, who dropped? Hold on.
Muzz,
Okay.
do you have any questions for me? Should I be here? Do you want me to stay? How do you
Stay up
want?
here, Dad. Stay up here, please. Okay, go ahead. Muzz?
Sorry. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah.
Amber? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
here.
Oh, I didn't know it was not the police. Sorry. I didn't know anyone was live, so I was trying to catch up. So I didn't hear everything. But if you're trying to put out everything,
Muzz,
I just
do
heard
you
the
want me to
cottage.
stay? Do you have anything?
No, no, I don't have anything, but I don't have a like. I don't. It's your. I don't.
I
It's on the
want you to
panel.
stay up here, Daddy. I want you
Yeah,
to
it's
stay
not mine.
because there might be, something that you might chime in on that you might know.
The
Okay, I'll
cottage
stay.
boys thing, Amber. That's not what happened.
I'm sorry,
Because
what's that, Les?
Drazo, the cottage boys doxing, that's not what happened. Because you and Drazo had already done that stuff before I met Drazo. I didn't know who you were. I still didn't know your name. You were still the outside source. And he came to me and said, my outside source is telling me that someone's trying to dox the cottage boys. And I love that woman. And I said, what are you talking about? And he's like, they're trying to, but my outside source wants me to, knows that I don't like her. So they're trying to feed me information. But I know you're friends with her. So I, like an idiot, convinced them to talk. I was like, why don't you just talk? She's a wonderful person. Maybe it's the information you have is wrong. Like, if you don't want to give her, who did it, just give her a heads up so she could protect herself. He agreed. She agreed. They talked. He told me. She said that his information was incorrect. But he's the one who told me that you had him reset the number, and this is before I knew your name. He wasn't mad at you. I didn't even know who you were. You were just his outside source. So I don't know where me coming into this had other than I was trying to say, like, I thought that he was trying to protect her. Now I think other things in the background were happening with the threatening and whatnot.
Must
But
send me every single message between you and him about the cottage boys.
say that again.
He sent me every single message between you and him about the cottage boys.
No problem. I'm pretty sure I posted them all. I have every message with him at the Cottage Boys. Again, he gave me some screenshot that you gave him of who you thought it was. I'm just saying, like, this happened before. Listen, I'm just saying, this happened
But
before I knew who even your name.
Muzz, could it be possible that Drazo just didn't tell you everything?
A
And I was like,
100%.
so maybe
But
Drazo.
what I'm saying, no, but what
You.
I'm saying is that Amber sent him like. What I'm saying is if it doesn't make any sense if she was already doxxed with them in the whatever the story is, then Amber would have known that.
And I will say, Drazo was always looking for attention. It was like Drazo always tried so hard to be in the middle of everything. Like he was just always looking for a moment. So I don't know that I would believe everything Drazo would said, and I
I'm
would
not.
say,
Oh, I'm just saying what I experienced. That's it.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm just saying what I said and what I don't know what happened before or
yeah,
after, except that that's what I was told, and he
yeah,
had the information. If somebody else did it, I mean, you know what I mean. I'm just saying that that's like that was just I heard that and I was like, what? I feel bad because me putting them to talk, thinking that they could, make peace or whatever, probably made her more scared. Stupid. Anyways, it is what it is.
yeah.
But
Okay.
I mean, that's what he told me. So, and that's what he told me in writing. So if you saw all the messages, you would have seen him tell me that.
Right, but he told you something different than what was actually being going on between me and him because
Totally
he
possible.
told you. No, I've seen the messages. He told you that somebody was threatening to dox her. That never happened, Muzz. Nobody
But
was
all I'm
threatening.
saying, Amber, is that you just before now, let's say that didn't happen, but you just said you saw the messages, that's what the communication was. But the story you just told was that I was involved in doxing her. You see what I'm saying?
No,
Whether
I
it
didn't.
didn't happen like that or not,
I
was
said
that was
if she got doxxed, that was between you and Drazo because we had all had her information for years. I didn't dox her.
what I'm saying is you just said you saw the messages between us and you agree that that's what he told me.
That's what he
So
told you.
correct. But so
But
you know that I wasn't, you see what I'm saying? Like, what regardless of what happened, what the perceived thing that happened because you saw the messages. That's not what you just said, like, I don't know, an hour ago, half an hour ago, whatever it was.
no, what I said is if she got doxxed, that was between you and Drazo communicating with her. I had nothing to do with that. So if Drazo doxed her or you doxed her or if she got doxed because of his communications with her, I had no part in that.
But what does that have to do with me?
Nothing other than you and he were communicating about her and you put her into communication with him.
Correct. That's just not what I heard earlier, so I wanted to clarify that.
Okay. I don't blame you for doxing her. I don't
I
think you
didn't
would.
dox her. I adore her. I'll say it
I
again.
know
I still do.
I read the messages where you said you did, and so I wouldn't think that you did. What I'm
Nope.
saying is
Right.
based
Yeah.
on you and him communicating, if something happened outside of me, based on you and him communicating and him getting in contact with her. That has nothing to do with me. Does that make sense?
I understand that. I was just saying, if you read, I was just clarifying what actually happened. That's all. Again, he could have been lying to me, he could have been lying to you, but if you saw the messages, it didn't, it wasn't about me.
Right.
He said he made it seem that you were warning him that somebody else was trying to dox. It was like a caterpillar situation. Like
No,
someone was trying to dox her and you found out, so you were trying to warn him because and then he was trying to warn this and then the green grass grew all around.
no, that was all about him because he wanted to know who she was because he assumed that person on Reddit was her and that they were harassing him.
Cool. I'm just saying I heard differently, so I just wanted to clarify that. I'm glad we did.
Mm-hmm.
That was
And Stuart
all.
has a question for you,
That's
Muzz.
yeah, I'm not. I just wanted to clarify that. I literally haven't watched anything, so I want to hear what you guys talked about, and I can't actually stay on. I just wanted to have that conversation with you, Brooke. Well, I was talking to Brooke, and she's like, "Well, go clarify it," and so I did. But
Okay, Muzz, though, serious question. This has come up a few times in the chat. Uh,
unfortunately, I can't right now, George. I can't start with like questions about me and stuff, whatever. But I just wanted to. Brooke said that I should grab the link to just ask her about that situation, so I just wanted to quickly, but I really can't right now. I'm sorry,
you
but
don't you don't want to answer nothing, or that was the only thing you wanted to come up for was just to ask
yes.
Amber that.
Well, yeah, I was talking to Brooke, and she said I should ask her about that. So
Okay. Is there
I
anything
was
else you want to ask Muzz? Because I know there was a lot of things done to you. Um, I don't mean to like pull up like a serious subject or anything, but I know the situation with your cousin. Do you want to ask any questions about that, or do you feel like you're good with all that and you know it all about that?
I don't know half of it, and I probably never will, but I know
Uh,
what I know, right?
and you're good and you're content with it?
It is what it is.
Okay. I mean, I just want to,
I appreciate you letting me up
yeah,
to
I just
ask
want
her that.
people to get the question, because I know Geneva's not going to give people the answers that they want or they need.
Mm.
And if it's something that you want to know that maybe could possibly help you feel better about something, I honestly think now is the time to ask. And this is where you might get the best answers to your questions. If
Actually, I do have a question, Muzz. Did you get the screenshot about the apple?
I don't know. I have to look.
Okay.
If you sent it to me, yes. I just haven't been
Yeah.
enough on my phone in the past couple days.
Questions
But yes,
about
if you said,
that.
okay.
And so I sent you the screenshot on that shows.
Okay.
I got a
I'm not sure, but I'm
question.
sure I'll see it.
I got a question. Who posted Drazo's wedding invitation?
Hmm.
That we don't know. I've been blamed on it. And actually, while Mez is up, I do want to talk about something really quick because I
Okay,
am
real
not.
quick, because I have like
Yeah, real
very
quick
short
because
time.
there's a disconnect. My
Hmm.
understanding is that an old man contacted you frantic
Hmm.
about an email or a letter
About a
or
text message and an
about
email
a text message
and an email.
and an email.
Hmm.
Okay. Separate from that,
Hmm.
there were text messages from Drazo to Snirk
Hmm.
saying that an email went to his work. He even sent that email to Snirk. It had
Hmm.
your information in it, but
Of
then
course.
Geneva was saying that you, me, and Geneva were getting blamed for it. I've seen the email, I've seen the text messages between him and Snirk
Mm.
claiming it was sent to his work. I absolutely did contact his work and told them I had nothing to do with said email. They asked me for copies of the email. They asked me copies of his text messages about the email. They absolutely did investigate it, and no email was ever received at his work, even
I
though
never heard about an email at the work.
even though he himself is the one that said it went to his work and he provided copies of that email to Snurk. So
So the
yes,
email I'm assuming is the one that went to the father-in-law or whatever. All I know is I got a text message from a number I didn't even save on my phone that the deleting everything. Someone called, he's getting fired. And I was like, who, what, who? I don't even know who this is. And you're the last one I'm deleting and blah, blah, blah. And then the next day he was going to get called in and I'm going to get a copy of that call. And I said, okay, trying to be not, I don't give a fuck because of, anyways. But, and then in the morning, we had to go in or something. He had a meeting. They told him shit that didn't make any fucking sense. But I said to myself, shut the fuck up. It's none of your business. What do you feel? Like, I was like, you might want a lawyer. And I'm like, shut up. What do you care? Like, after all that's, I was like,
mhm.
well, whatever, as long as you're happy at the end. Um, Apparently, the call was not recorded at a utilities company. I don't know. I was like, somebody's lying. That's weird. And that's all I do. But I just bet my ass that since it was so close to the what the father-in-law got with the all the shit about me and my name and everything, that I'm sure the call, whoever did it, was claiming to be me, but I didn't know and or like
And
there. I mean,
my phone call,
no, this was back when it happened. Like you called them after you found out, you said, right?
yeah, I called after I found out about that,
I'm
and
talking about when it happened. That's what he said.
so I
What do
am
I know?
confused. There was a phone call and an email sent?
Apparently, well, all I knew was a phone call to the job, the email, the text to the father-in-law. I know the email and the text went to the father-in-law because that I saw after he went over the next day because that was before it. The text was sent from a spoof app, poor guy, but it was like blah 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 blah. Don't like I'm too scared. Don't contact me. All just to freak him
Mhm.
out. And then said this number will no longer work. If you want to contact me, call me here. And it was my real number. And poor guy obviously didn't realize that didn't make sense. So I got all of a sudden a voicemail, and I was like, huh? And he didn't know how to screenshot it. He's like, I'm old. I'm like, poor guy. Anyways,
I think the email was put on Reddit not that long ago. So if you look
maybe.
somewhere, it's there.
And I also was told that William had contacted his work.
I
Yeah, I was
think that
told.
was a whole separate thing. I think that was months earlier or a year earlier. I don't know the concept of time. I think that
Okay,
was
so
a separate situation.
I've only been involved in
Okay.
one phone call with his work where I talked to two people, both people from security, and they've emailed me outside of those phone calls. So they know who I am and they know when I called and why I called. So outside of that and that specific situation, I've had nothing else to do with his job or emails or phone calls or text messages or
Well,
anything like that.
this was like last year, right? I think ish, give or take.
When I
Uh,
found out about it was like March or April of
so,
this past year.
oh God, I have no concept of time. It was, I think it was near the end of last year or something. But honestly, the time before that I spoke to him was May 2023. I haven't said like we haven't said a word to each other since May 2023, other than terrible words that came to me. But so all I know is that that happened and then this happened. And the only reason I reached out, which was unpleasant and I didn't want to, because I was like, this is fucking crazy. And the only way to stop it, which is someone trying to create chaos, is to tell him so he can what anyways. And then it was fine. We didn't say anything. I don't know, whatever. But the job thing, I don't know. I just got a message. It was the next day he was going in. They settled whatever. They didn't have proof. I don't know how you could fire. I don't know. And then I'm like, you know what? It's none of my business. Goodbye. Good luck.
Mhm.
That's it. That's all I know.
Hey,
And the
Muzz.
other
Okay.
thing is he wasn't fired. So that needs to be cleared
Hey,
up
Muriel.
too because he didn't get fired. He got a supervisory position and he doesn't want anybody messing with his job. And so that's why he let you all believe he was fired so that William or whoever else wouldn't continue to call his job.
Well, it's a lot of effort, but I guess I can't blame him. I don't know. I mean,
Hey, Muzz. There's
whatever.
two questions
Oh my God.
somebody wants to know. One wants to know
I
is
really have, like, I really, is it about
okay.
this? Because otherwise, I
Who paid the
really,
bill
really,
at
really,
Roadhouse?
And did Lindsay
Who
stink?
paid the tab?
I don't remember, I'll be honest.
What
And
did
that's
You
Lindsay
don't
fair.
spend?
But
remember who
Maria
paid the
did,
tab?
I don't, but I don't. I actually really don't, but I'm the wrong person to ask. Um, and
So
Yes.
you didn't pay,
No,
so
I
because
didn't.
you would remember that. Okay.
Yes. No, I didn't. I didn't. I tried, but I didn't.
I believe you. I believe that you tried. I generally do.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't I? But no, that came out sarcastic. I meant seriously. Oh my.
No, 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 no.
Um,
But I also did want to say,
and
since I have like, I mean, I know you did a great job doing a video of the breakdown of the spoof text messages, and no matter where our relationship is,
I can't
I mean, I
remember
think
where.
we
Yeah.
coexist. I really do appreciate you taking the time and the effort of at least proving the best you can. And now we just had confirmation that we were right. And so from California to
Yeah.
Canada, I'm high-fiving
I
you, and
mean,
I appreciate the effort.
we didn't have a doubt. I mean, it made sense, right? I mean, it is what it is, right?
It did, and you
But
really did do a great job breaking it all down with times and specifics. And I want you to know that regardless of everything, I mean, there's no ill will towards me. I really do appreciate you taking the time. And when I'm getting gaslit about everything, you really did believe me, and I want to at least give you credit for that.
all right, no problem. Sorry, I'm in my oven. I gotta go. I really have to go.
Okay, well, make
But
sure the oven's not on when you clean it. And how
no,
many rolls were there in the basket?
I could not tell you. But thank you for. I'm so hungry and don't talk about food. But anyways, I appreciate being up here regardless of anything else. Thank you for clearing that up, Amber. I'm glad. I think it makes more sense now. And oh my
You
gosh,
feel
I
better,
gotta
Mez,
go.
about this?
Sure. Well, that I digress. But anyways, thank you, and have a good rest of your stream.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
And the other thing I wanted to say while I'm up here, because who knows when I will do this again, is you never have to answer your phone. You never have to answer a text. You never have to provide anybody with any type of response. Everybody here thinks you need to be 24/7 all the time, answering this, answering that, explaining this. You don't owe anybody anything. So anybody out there that's, getting spoof messages or getting questions asked or in the live chat or any of this stuff, you never have to feel like you are obligated to any of these people.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, I never felt like I was obligated when I answered. I had to answer the phone for my work, but for also with me, I am just a spitfire and I'm ready to throw hands at any given moment.
yeah,
So I'm ready to talk that shit. You come at me, I'm coming back at you. That's just my personality. I never felt obligated. In fact, there were some times where I just ignore it because I was like, I don't even want to engage.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. And unfortunately, though, Geneva's not going to stop. And like I said, if Geneva is
Clearly,
coming at
by her
you,
community tab, she's not going to stop because she's already doxing PMR and making threats to Amber. So clearly, here we go again. Another round across around the crazy carousel. Buckle
Well,
up,
see,
Jules. Buckle up, Maria.
I
yeah,
honestly don't care because with the city attorney having her YouTube on his desk, he can look at the things and he can see, oh, yeah, this is definitely false use of police reporting and makes it that much stronger against her if he decides to go after her. So,
Amber, do you have a list available of all of her Reddit accounts that you can read off? Because I know there were like 3 that doxed me.
I had given George all of the ones that George, do you still have that list?
I do. I
And
do.
that's the list he has. It's not a complete list because I don't know who the account she had was before me. I don't know who the account she has now. And the other thing is you just be going along, and she'd all of a sudden come up with another, have another account, and oh, this is my new account, and this is my other account, and this is my other account. And I mean, if you look at her right now, she's got at least, let me go look right now.
What do you mean by who had her account before and who has her account now? Can
That's
you?
what her accounts are now and what her accounts were before I knew her, after I knew her, because she changes them. And right now she's got, I think, 4 that I know of. Let me scroll. She's got Geneva 2.5.
That's her
Um,
YouTube. I mean, does she harvest accounts and just let them accumulate in age
yes,
so when people check them?
absolutely, because she's also got a YouTube account that's Bassan's World. Currently, it's still there. You can still see it. She's got another one that's Geneva 2.0, and then she's got another one that's Bush Cunt that used to be Bush Cunt Kendrat. But she just hangs on to these accounts and reuses them. There was one that was Hennepin County. I think that was going after Kirsten.
Yeah,
No,
can
that
you explain that one? Because that one was a really weird name. Do you know any correlation about that? Like, I know that's in Minnesota and I know that's the county where George Floyd died, but
no,
I
there's
don't
a
know.
it's a YouTube person. It's one of the Discord people, and it's somebody that had something to do with their children.
Oh, so
So,
it's like a veiled threat against a
yeah,
sub. Got it.
yes,
Okay, now that makes sense. Because I was just like, what is this?
yeah, she had another one that was Holden McGroin that was a YouTube account. But George has a whole list of them,
You want me to read it again?
if you want to.
Yes, please.
Okay. Oh, please. Let me find it. Keep talking and I'll read it. I'll find it and read it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Mm. Pally Pisces on YouTube, Geneva 148 on YouTube, Geneva 964 on YouTube, Geneva 2.5 on YouTube, Geneva 2.0 on YouTube, Bassan's World on YouTube, Carlos Juan Yanes on YouTube, Bush Kendrunk on YouTube, Hennepin Co. Mental Health on YouTube, Holden McGroin on YouTube, Marsha on YouTube, Bitterbrook on YouTube, The Real Bassan on Reddit, False Marzipan, something 18 on Reddit, 90 Days Uncracked on Reddit. Um, oh wait, the False Marzipan is 2648. Future Reveal 3122. That Bitch Geneva on Reddit. Chicken Nuggy 4077 on Reddit. JY is horny for my Big Mac on Reddit. Full Initiative on Reddit.
That
That Bitch Geneva
JY
on
is the
Instagram.
one that posted Brooke's kid. Is there any proof that you have, Amber, connecting those two accounts? Because that's the big one that posted Brooke's child.
Only that she sent me old screenshots from that account, different posts that account had made, and then just her making a big deal about that being the account that had used to post Brooke's kid.
But it doesn't
But
have like a timestamp on it. Cause you know, like sometimes when you take a screen grab and send it to someone, it'll say like 0 seconds, like they just posted it before anybody could see it. Like
I'd
nothing
have
to
to
that.
I'd have to go
Okay.
back and look.
Because that could get her locked up. Posting a child like that. Full Initiative. That Bitch Geneva on Instagram. Jenny from the Cheese Block on Instagram. And Brandon Robinson on Instagram. And Jennifer Stoll on Instagram.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like a lot has been said and a lot has been more cleared and there's no interrupting and it's just kind of been a smooth conversation. I would hope. I hope. I don't know. Um, I won't take Barbara Walters' job. Rest in peace. But I mean, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you, Amber.
Oh, no, no problem. It's just been a lot with all of the threats of, oh, I'm going to expose you, and oh, you're going to go to jail, and oh, I have um, um, police cases against you, and oh, the police are building these cases against you, and okay, keep calling the police. She can keep calling the police all she wants. They've got all of her information. And, I can go on a panel and I can talk about what I want to talk about. Um, Today I was told that short of threatening to kill somebody, you can pretty much say whatever you want. So, you know, it's not just Geneva that can say what she wants and get away with what she wants. Um, Dreamsicle, who passed the pick around with a number on it. Um, that picture was from Maria to Geneva. Geneva found your
Oh,
owner of the phone number, and that's how she found your information. So it was the screenshot from the work phone when you called to make your complaint, took that phone number and searched it and found information that connected to you. And
So what
Geneva
you're
sent
saying is
Geneva
is
sent the picture to me.
oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
hey, can I say something real quick while Lack is here? I know Lack said last week something about the owners of the building that Jules lives in. Well, I would like to say rest in peace because the owner, the old guy who was 89, he died in November of 2025. So I'm not sure who the new owners will be. I don't know, maybe if he passed it down to his kids, but Mr. Abraham has passed away. So if you wanted to reach out to them, you're not going to be able to find him. So, so that's
Anyhow,
that.
George, I'm going to let you go now that I hijacked your live for all this time. I'm going to let you go so that you can go about what you were doing. But if Dreamsicle needs that picture, I can show where it was sent to me.
Okay. It just got awkwardly quiet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
thanks
I
for
was
talking.
muted.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for finally being able to speak your truth. And um, if anybody wants to reach out to you, message me and I will get you in contact with her.
I have one
Yeah.
And
more question. One more question. I'm sorry, Amber. I know you're trying to get out of here.
Mhm.
You had said in the stream back in October, that if there was anything I needed to know, like I should contact you and PMR should contact you.
Mhm.
What do you have? Like you can publicly, it's obviously been put out publicly, so you can say it publicly for my sake or whatever. Like what information?
Just names, pictures,
Oh, okay.
jobs.
Oh, see, yeah, that's another thing with us. It's just like I know there's been veiled threats of like, oh, your Instagram is open. Yeah, it is open. I mean, why should I have to hide it? It's you guys should be adults on not to weaponize, pictures of my family. You guys should exhibit this self-control. I should be able to post pictures of things I'm proud of and achievements or vacations I've gone on or my children and not have to worry about it being weaponized. And I think it sucks that there's threats of it getting weaponized. Like I know I've heard Maria say, oh, your Instagram is open. Yeah, Maria, it still is. And I know you're checking it because you're always the first person you may know popping up when that comes up. So go ahead, take all your pictures. It doesn't even bother me.
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, Lack wants to know what information Geneva has on him since she knew his full name. If you know.
I don't know anything about him. She probably knows everything about him. I know that she would complain about him, but as far as knowing any information, I don't.
Okay. Okay.
I
And
just
I
want to
was
say hello, Lack. It's so nice to see you.
Well, thank you so much again for your time, Amber. I appreciate this. And if you ever need my channel for anything, it is yours. Just let me know. Even though I'm leaving, I will fire up a live for you any single time.
hey, and if you're ever going to change your phone number, let me know before.
Okay. I'm not going to change it.
Oh, that was funny last night,
I know, right?
right? Oh, and then she's mad about the messages, but I didn't say anything. It was the other person calling her all the horrible things, not me. Feel
Mhm. Yep.
free to go over those messages if you want to.
Okay. All right. I
Okay,
will.
okay, you have a good one.
You too. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, wait. Sorry. See, I, I hope everyone feels better now about all this. And I think people see things differently. now, right?
I genuinely think it's wild how, like, she explained how our information was, how she would, what gave us away, what would give our information, how she's watching a chat, listening to how people, or reading how people are talking, or how you can find so much information from like a phone number and email. She never had my email, but obviously she did have my phone number. I mean, my God, she realized that the fires and we were evacuated and giving from what I'm understanding, a play by play. Yeah, I was evacuated. The fires were across the street from my house. And I might have put that in one chat or so. And I think Heidi had mentioned something because she knew I was evacuated and she was checking in on me. But I mean,
Yeah.
I live in a fire zone, but it's just wild that she would have a play by play of potentially me losing my house. But I mean,
Wow. It just shows how creepy they are that they're following people and they're watching people. But nobody has this kind of time except for Jules and Geneva. They're not working there. Well, shouldn't say just them, but they have that time to do so. And if other people think that they don't have a list on them and they're not building on them, you guys are sadly mistaken over there. So while y'all think you guys are buddy buddy with them, they're trolling you, they're fooling you, and they're collecting your information. And I will say now that the jig is out of the bag, Ghost of Shadows is looking for Geneva's information. He wants her information. And last night when me and Amber was messaging each other, she got a message. Let me read the message. Did I show you? I don't know if um
oh yeah, you showed that message. We saw it
okay. Yeah, let
about,
me read
yeah.
it. Yeah, let me read it for the chat. He says, "Hey, this is George's new number. I did not get a new number, guys. This is where you can contact me from now on because Ghost of Shadows keeps pranking me. So just send me everything that you have on Jenny so I can get that bitch tomorrow." So Ghost of Shadows, I'm assuming, tricked Geneva to getting Amber's number so that he could try to trick Amber to getting Geneva's phone number. But Ghost of Shadows, all you had to do was come to me directly and I would have gave you everything on Geneva. Dummy. You're stupid. All you had to do was say, "Hey George, can you give me Geneva's information?" I would say, "Yes, I got it. I'll give you her number, both of her sisters' numbers, their addresses, all kinds of stuff. It's yours." That's what Geneva did to me. So fair is fair. And let me say, I do not like the real life stuff. I do not like the stuff that I say. I'm not liking the stuff that I post, but I'm just matching energy. Do not do it to me, and I will not do it to you. I've proved with Sophie we can just walk away from each other. We don't have to sit here and fight and argue and go back and forth. We can walk away. But the rest of them, they like to sit there and argue and keep that shit going. I'm doing it right with you. You're not going to punk me like y'all do the rest of these people. You are not going to bully me and beat me into submission and shut up. No, that's not going to happen. So, well,
I
I'm
think
thinking, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I think one of the greatest strategies with this community is knowing when to shut the fuck up and just
Yeah.
knowing not everything needs a response. Like you don't need to fight every fight. Sometimes you can just walk away. And I think that is one of the best strategies you can have in surviving this community. It's just, I don't even need to entertain this.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you 110%. And some people, they're looking for the fight. They want the fight because they need it to keep going. Like Maria. Me and Maria really didn't have, well, I never liked Maria. But when I started my channel, Maria would come in and blah, blah, blah. And I always knew Maria's fake and she's using this as her playground, blah, 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 blah. But she wanted the fight. When I didn't kick out Habanero and Jeff,
Oh,
Maria got what
I
her
was
issue was.
I was absolutely in those streams, and it was all about control in those
Hmm.
streams where she could align and she just wanted you as part of her posse. So she wanted to be able to dictate. And when she realized that you weren't going to be a follower, that's when she declared her war on you too. And, I mean, it is what it is. If you don't follow her, then she just has a problem with you. And I think that's a thing for a lot of creators.
Mm-hmm. And moving forward, people, just don't allow Maria into your chat because she uses this as her playground. When you don't do what she wants you to do, it's going to be a big problem. So if you just don't invite her in, you don't have nothing to worry about. And to answer your question, Lack, I believe this is what Ghost of Shadows is mad about now. Um, because as soon as I posted this, that's when he started trying to get Geneva's information. Um, but Ghost of Shadows, I'm telling you, she probably has your information already. She probably has your information, MC's information, and the fat one, what's his name? Two Sickies. She probably has all y'all's information already. So, yeah, you might want to get locked and loaded, Ghost of Shadows, because she has your information.
And I just like to make it clear that I've watched every single episode of Game of Thrones. So I know how to maneuver and bob and weave throughout this community because I was a Game of Thrones enthusiast.
Uh-huh. And for me, I am from the rough streets of Chicago. I will cut a bitch. Just kidding. But it's this is just kid stuff, and Maria, you and Jules love this kind of stuff. The three of y'all are mentally ill, and that's the sad part about it. Now the three of y'all are all on a team together, and it's sad because who's
Well,
ultimately going to suffer? Your chats.
or family. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like this gives them validation, and this is why they do. I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't think Jules is as messy as Geneva and Maria. That I think that she isn't in the muck as deep as them, but it does give them validation, and that's what they're craving. And I think that's their purpose is, they want to be the leader. They want to be the top tier. And eventually, if you don't cater to Geneva's ego and if you don't protect her enough, then she's going to take that as a slight and then she's going to go after you because she did that with PMR, she did that with me. And if Amber was on panel, I'd ask her the same thing. Jules didn't really protect her that much when all of this stuff was coming to light, but God damn, Maria went fucking hard on everybody for Geneva. So Maria's playing the role.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, Jules, she's in the fuck shit with them. She is. Jules is just smarter and she's more strategic with them. And the thing about Maria is she just outs everything. She does it. Jules is smarter how she goes about doing it. But she's in the mess with them. She's in it.
Okay. And I mean that's a very possible thing to be. I'm just like, but from what I've definitely have witnessed, it's Maria and it's Geneva and maybe there's a few other, but snarky comments here or there or Jules leaving out bits and pieces of information to change the context of things that happening or the fake outrage of things. I mean that's YouTube fodder in my eyes, but Maria always threatening to go real life and weaponizing, that's where it becomes sad and pathetic, and it's not my job. Like when she posted that about your family and their passings, like my heart broke. I never knew that information and I didn't want to know that information unless you wanted to share it with me. And the fact that she tried to weaponize that trauma against you,
Mm-hmm.
I saw red. And so for you, however, you have to find your peace. I support you, George, and I love you for that. And I'm sorry that happened.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you too. It's I feel don't feel as bad for me as you do. Feel more worse for Maria at the fact that this is where your mind goes. Like this is at the age that you are, this is what you're doing to people. You have kids that are good and healthy. You have grandkids that are good and healthy. And this is what you're doing, tearing people down on the internet. I would never go this hard at Maria, but this is how she goes at me. Like, you know what I mean? So,
Well, this kind of goes back to a little bit of what I was saying before, where it's like I have to pick and choose what I want to post on Instagram. Like I have it open, but again, I have to fear that it's getting weaponized. And I have mentioned this in a comment to Maria where it said like you are depriving your daughter of joys of motherhood. She should be able to in this day and age post pictures of her children and be proud of what she's accomplished as a mother and the milestones, because this is what we do in this digital age. But now she's apprehensive and afraid because she's afraid that her children, her babies that she has to protect, are going to be weaponized because of her fodder, because of Maria's behavior. And that's not fair. That's not fair to the family that Maria can't control herself, that her children have to make the conscious decision of I've got to protect the peace and privacy of my babies. And we've
mhm,
already seen it be exposed and exploited and weaponized. And we've seen it by the person that she's chummy with. But she
mhm,
chose to be blissfully ignorant. And it's just sad that this is where she decides to go. And then it comes back to her and it's affecting her family.
mhm. And while we were live, Maria clicked the link a few times to come up. I didn't let her up. I, for what,
Oh,
Maria?
you
We
did
have
it?
nothing. Uh huh. We have nothing to talk
Oh, I
about.
didn't
We
even see it.
have. Yep. Yep. She wanted up here. There's nothing to say, Maria. Nothing. The
I mean,
lines have been.
I don't understand where the conversation had anything to do with her other than her trying to white knight for Geneva. But like I've
Mhm.
had experiences with Geneva. My best friend PMR has had experiences with Geneva. Amber has had experiences with Geneva. Like, I mean, if you want to talk, Maria, why don't you drop the link?
Yeah. Yep. And why is it that when Geneva goes on panel, it's only on KK's? Why aren't you going on Jules's panel? Why aren't you going on Maria's panel? Maria tried to click the link, Payne. I didn't let her up. No, I will never let Maria up. Maria just
Actually,
wants to derail the conversation and make
now
it
that I
about
think
her.
about it, Jules and Maria will only click links where they can navigate and control the conversation. Like Jules with AC, she would never click another link where she doesn't have control. Maria will never go into a chat where she doesn't have control and people can't block. I know Maria wouldn't drop the link because, well, she would drop the link, but then she would control it in some certain way where it wouldn't be
Mhm.
a healthy, constructive conversation like we all had right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's what they didn't want. That's exactly what they did not want. They did not want to hear the shit that Geneva is doing because she doesn't want her subs and them all to know what Geneva has done and is doing. But
Well, maybe she wanted to tell us who paid the tab at the Roadhouse.
I'm coming to realize I don't think any of them paid the tab. I think they walked out on it.
Lindsay giving some tips.
Uh-huh. That's why Lindsay was acting a fool. George, she's posting the coolest picture of your family. I don't understand it. Yeah, I don't understand why she posted that picture of me and my mom. Like, that was a great picture. Like, it is the cutest picture. I was a cute baby, and my mom is beautiful. Like, you're not hurting me by that. And that's what I don't understand. Maria, Jules, you don't hurt me by doing that. You don't. And when you post people and families have that stuff go on. And look at Geneva. She had it going on in her family. So she,
Are you still there? You were roboting.
oh yeah, I'm here. I don't know why it's going on, but um, yep. So you're not hurting me, Maria, and yeah, you really should not even be online. You're bannovating. But am I still
Yeah,
cutting in
I
and out?
mean, yeah, you are.
Oh, I don't know why. Let me drop and come back. Hold on.
So, you guys, while we're waiting for George, Why don't you type your Taco Bell order in the chat? Let's see what people like. Like, do you like a crunch wrap? Do you like, a Mexican pizza with no meat? Like, what's your order? Do you order? I've never had a Baja Blast, but I love Taco Bell. Share with me your orders. Burrito with no onions, nacho supreme. I miss the 7-layer burrito and the caramel apple empanadas, though. Those were legit. I wish they would bring back the throwback menu.
I used to only like at Taco Bell just the soft tacos. That's all I ever liked.
Do you have somewhere by you, like another Mexican chain that's like,
Uh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
We have ours. We have our Del Taco. Everybody already knows because Geneva's doxed my location, but we have our Del Taco. We have our Taco Bell.
yeah. We have Del Taco. I don't really go. I think I've only went there once. It was okay. But we have this one Mexican restaurant, literally like in my yard. It is so good. It's not expensive and it's real authentic, and the drinks are so good.
I love Mexican. I made some birria last
And
week. This
Geneva,
this weekend.
every time Mario, a family member of mine, I'm posting yours. Hmm.
The birria, oh my God, it was amazing. I outdid myself and I don't cook very often. This week, since it's Super Bowl, I'm gonna make a birria cheese dip and bring it to a Super Bowl party I'm gonna go to. I love Mexican food. And where I live, there's a bunch of taco trucks. We're
Mm,
good.
yeah, that sounds good. And oh, I love the chips and the queso. Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah. Or I made a chorizo bean dip last week too. Put some of that in a like a ugh. No wonder I'm on Ozempic.
Well, thank God for it, right?
I know. Give it good. Thank God for those GLP-1s because now all the fat shaming I had to endure, like, look at me now. I'm on the GLP. You know what I mean?
I don't think that did, but I thought El Polo Loco was a chain. I'm gonna make some. When is the Super Bowl? I didn't even.
It's next week, next Sunday.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Who's? Oh, the halftime is Bad Bunny, right?
Yeah, it's Bad Bunny, and it is the Seahawks and the Patriots.
Oh, didn't even know. See,
I
this is what I
also
mean. What'd you say?
I also don't watch football whatsoever, but I like food, so that's why I know.
This is. I don't want to be wrapped up in YouTube so much anymore that I don't even realize the Super Bowl is coming up. So this is why I want to take a step back. I miss that pepper soup today. It's so good.
I agree. I think sometimes taking a step back is good. It's
Yeah.
healthy. You don't have to, like, these people that you're never going to meet, you don't need to know all of this information about them. You don't need to know how many kids this person had and if it was a C-section or a vaginal delivery, because that's just weird.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And when one person leaves, they're just going to have a next target and a new victim.
I mean, right now it's been Jen. I mean, I feel like the dog pile, like Jen does bring a lot of it on herself, but like, I think that the power dynamic is funny where they like to pile on Jen because Jen is reactive, but they don't necessarily pile on you very hard. Or,
Yeah.
well, they like to dox you. I mean, they don't pile on you the way they pile on Jen because Jen is reactive. And they can't get that mind control over you.
Yeah. 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 And they try it with Kendra too. And that's why I was
Kendra
so
can get
glad.
reactive too. Respectfully,
Yeah.
Kendra, you can get reactive too.
Hmm.
I One of the greatest things is being able to say, this fight doesn't concern me. I don't even need to answer that, and not giving them the power because they're trying to trigger people into giving them a reaction so they can mock it. And that's not fun and that's not okay. And I don't like seeing Kendra when she's spiraling. And I don't like seeing anybody when they're spiraling. That hurts my heart. Like I might say some snarky, bitchy comments, but I don't want to see anybody at their low crying. That's not entertainment to me.
Yeah. Um, but they love it. They love it. They get off on it. It makes their day. You just got to remember, don't give them that control. Don't give them the control that they want.
Well, yeah, they love it because it validates them. Like, see, you don't see me doing that stuff. One thing I've noticed about Jules is she's always comparing herself to people. You don't see me doing that, do you guys? And it's like, well, yeah, I have seen you do stuff like that. She's always comparing, and that's where I see her insecurities. Whether she is look shaming or putting somebody down, or comparing herself. If you pay attention to when she's talking about someone or talking about something, I don't do that, guys. Like, I would, it's always a comparison because she always needs to be better. So she's going to pick the low hanging fruit, like Jen, who's going through it, or, Kendra, who maybe had an episode. And so she'll pick them because she knows that. But I mean, if she picks somebody maybe smarter or stronger or confident, like maybe myself, she's not going to get that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maria once told me I needed to get an education, but I haven't said, can you imagine once on this stream?
Yeah. Eh, but then remember when they shamed Kendra for having a bachelor's degree? I was like,
They did?
yes. And I had to say something, and I was like, wait a minute. Like, she has a bachelor's degree. How are you shaming anyone for that? And then they finally
Well,
stopped.
Maria once said that I job shamed her when we were in someone's random chat, a chat she couldn't control. And I told Maria, I was like, Maria, I make the calls, you answer them. And she said I job shamed her when she told me that I was uneducated and I needed to get an education. I'm sorry, but I am a well spoken, successful woman. And I don't understand. I gave Amber her congratulations because she got a divorce. Congratulations. Sometimes leaving a toxic husband or going through a divorce is a great fucking thing. I mean,
Yeah.
a husband doesn't bring any value to me. Like, I've built everything I had on my own.
Uh-huh. And she said something about me the other day that I didn't have a job and I don't have this. And it's like, Maria, if you're saying all this about me, I own my own home. Um, I have a lot of shit that, Maria, you don't have. Like, no dig at anybody for renting, but Maria, you don't own shit. So I don't have a job, I don't have a husband, but I'm well ahead of you and you're in your 60s. You should be retiring soon. And you don't have nothing. And I don't shame people for that kind of stuff. Whatever. I know home ownership is not for everybody, but Maria, you can't sit here and shame me when you don't have nothing.
I mean, you didn't ask the internet for lawyer fees and then never come up with the receipts. You don't drop your Cash App. You don't ask for super chats. You're not out here asking for money. So I
Oh,
don't see where the job would come into play.
oh. Like, she's a fool. A damn fool.
I mean,
But
I just don't understand why people would be so outraged that, like, maybe you spent money to find your name on a website and people are like, oh my God, you didn't ask anybody for money. So why does anybody care how much you spent on it? Like, that's so
I
silly
know.
to me. Like, if you were there, like, they're sitting here outraged because George just allegedly spent 1K to get his name removed or look for his name being searched, blah, 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 whatever that scenario was. But Maria's over here asking for 5K for an attorney, promising receipts and never delivers them. But George is the asshole.
Right. And I showed the receipts of me paying for that 1K. And then they switched it to something else. Like, and that's why they weren't able to find a lot of shit. So nice try, Jenny.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
And
this
always
is
remember when they're pushing you on a situation, like when they're saying you don't have a husband, they just want you to keep talking so that they can find them. When they say you don't have a job, they want you to keep talking so they find it. Just like what Amber C said earlier. They sit in them chats and watch what you say. They'll ask questions so you answer them. No, I was smart enough to know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an unmarried woman and everything I have, I got as an unmarried woman. So, I mean, I consider myself a successful woman considering I do own my home and, I have a great job and raised two kids on my own, not three, two,
Yeah.
never had a third. But, I don't know why it's weaponized like you don't have a husband. Honey, I could have had three by now if I wanted. Look at me. Look at
Hmm.
me on paper. Look at me. I was just on stream a few days ago.
Yeah. And not everybody wants that same life. And like, look at Maria. She was so desperate to have a husband, she was getting her ass whipped and getting her ribs beat or getting her ribs cracked up. So, not everybody wants that, Maria. You're not better because you have that and somebody doesn't. Some people are happy with just themselves.
I mean, marriage life wasn't for me. I tried it,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't for me. And in I thrived in this life I'm living. I mean, I have a boyfriend now, but
Yeah. And like, look at Jendi. She's married, but she was still trying to get with Amzy. Does that make sense? Why be married if you're just going to cheat and creep?
wait, what?
Mic drop. You didn't know that? Yeah. Jendi was trying to get with Amzy.
I mean, she's a pretty girl. When Maria
Hmm.
tried to jab at me saying I'm a big girl like AMC, I go, you're not insulting me.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, Maria did want Muhammad. She wanted that man. Maria likes Arab men. She does. That's not a secret. That's why when she went to the Middle East,
Turkey.
when she stole, yeah, Turkey, when she stole her daughter's wedding dress money and went to Turkey, she was with those Arab men. And remember, that's when she was with that minor who was 13. I think she said he was 15. She was with the minor then. And then when she,
What the fuck? I don't
yeah,
know
you didn't know
nothing.
that?
No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Respectfully, Maria, I don't keep tabs on you. So I don't know the lore surrounding this woman. I do know she was on that 90-day show or attempted to get on the 90-day show wearing a red dress and was holed up. And she's adjacent to one of the most iconic 90-day moments, of the franchise with the evidence binder, but was left out on the editing room floor. So that's most of the history I have on Maria that I haven't seen myself. So, I mean, for her to sit here and say that Anne was chasing Dreamy while married, but Maria, you were in a house with another man who was also married while you were married. So, we have questions.
Hmm. Yep. And these are the same rumors that was on the Facebook groups that Maria liked the young Arab men. And before I even seen those, I was saying this. And I heard her say that she went to Turkey and she was with that young boy. And even somebody else said, yeah, she said she was going there to be a tutor to teach them English. And then somebody else said, oh, yeah, she was going back with a foreign exchange student. So other people have heard it, Maria. It's not a secret. You said it. And how are you in Turkey? And then when you was coming back, the hurricane was coming and you got stuck longer. It's not a secret, Maria. You're a pedo.
Wait, is English her first language? Because when I listen to her, I don't think, I mean, it's such a limited vocabulary. It probably doesn't go past the 9th grade when I'm listening to her speak, that I'm just like, how would she teach anybody English?
Mm, her English and Spanish. I don't know the rest. That's what she said though. So why she said that, I don't know, to make it look better for her, but and I shown that when I shown her Facebook people, they're mostly Arabs. Um, um, she was there. They was running train on her. They was doing groups on her, and that's true.
Wait, and I have another question.
Hmm.
What language do they speak in Turkey?
Turkish and
That's what I
Kurdish.
thought. That's what I thought. But does she speak Turkish to be able to translate and explain in English?
I don't know. I don't know what was going on, how Maria got around there, and
I mean, I would imagine if you're going to be teaching English to kids, you would still have to know Turkey to be able to say, "This is my dog Spot" in Turkish,
mhm.
and then have them repeat it in English. But I mean, that's just me without an education. I mean, maybe she might want to try an island where they speak Spanish.
Mhm. Well, she don't the islands that she like. They don't have the Arab men on them. She got to go straight to the motherland for that, and that's why she was running around the Middle East, getting ran through like a sack of potatoes, being a cum dump.
Well, that's a horrific vision. What a bad day to have an imagination.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But that's Maria.
You're going to get me in trouble, George.
Oh, you're gonna get in trouble anyway. We might as
Yeah,
well
that's
just keep.
true. I mean, I've already taken the bullets, so it is what it is at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, I'm ready to go on with my life.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
Hi, Star. So nice to see you.
Those poor foreign exchange students would leave dumber than they were before, but they would leave with a happy ending. Drop the link again. Oh, absolutely,
Oh, who wants the link?
Amber.
My friend Miss Amber Sherrington, or yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Amber Sherrington. Oh,
Yeah.
welcome back, Amber.
Right, Star. Maria, she doesn't watch anyone, but her community tab says otherwise. What?
Oh, how many posts are we up already? Did anybody have any
Welcome back.
guesses?
Hey, guess
Okay.
what?
What?
Ginny's been on the phone with the police again, and now she's 0 for 3.
What?
0 for 3.
What did she say?
That I was giving out her information, that I was emailing her, that I was contacting her family. Um, no proof of it. She sent them some different screenshots, some different screen recordings that have nothing to do with me. Um, then there was some information about that man from Ohio. That man from Ohio, and I'm like, I can't believe blame from that man from Ohio. If he's contacting, if he's giving out information and whatever, whatever. And I also talked to them about how I talked to the Tigard police, and they told me that if the information had been obtained legally, that if you share it with me or you share it with somebody else, there's no crime in that, and they agreed with that. So as long as you and I told them that you said you got your information from LexisNexis, and they said, oh, that's fine. If he's getting it legally, there's nothing she can do about that. And then also, I can't be held responsible for anything you're doing. So if you're
Huh?
doxing her, if you're contacting her family, that has nothing to do with me. So I told them
Nope.
I'm not taking any crimes from that man in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Nope. As you should not.
Yep.
Um, So by that logic, Maria's posting my information online. I can call the police on Geneva, right?
Sure. I mean, I guess it's the logic we're using.
and and then in that one police report where she called the police on Amber Mims and Terry Lynn, they told her log offline, ma'am.
Log off. Yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
So they're just going to document this one as another garbage call and move on.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And I'm gonna call a welfare check on Maria tonight because I think she's back on crack, coke, fentanyl, and ketamine again. Because she is really burning through that community tab of hers.
Well,
These people are crazy.
yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, I guess we all gotta stay safe. Geneva's on a war.
Yep.
What's she gonna do when Ghost of Shadows gets her phone number? Because, like I said, I'll give it to him.
Well, and the other thing is I think Geneva is trying to figure out where I'm at, and that's why she's calling all of these different police departments, trying to get them to confirm where I'm at. And both
Yeah.
of them, when I talked to them, they did not make me provide my address because I told them she's searching for it. She contacted a police department that I haven't lived in their jurisdiction for 24 years, and they know that I haven't lived there for 24 years. And I said she's just trying to get my address, and they're neither of them made me provide my address, and they said if I want to contact my jurisdiction to, make a report on her for the things that she's doing, I can do that. And I'm like, she's not going to stop. She's a deranged lunatic who has nothing better to do with herself. So I'm not going to make a report and have my local jurisdiction reach out so that she knows where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
So neither of the two, the Layton and the West Jordan, where she's contacted, neither of them have made me provide my current address. So, yep.
She'll be having another stroke before too long.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and it's just one more case to add to the city attorney's, pile on his desk of the other two she's already done is like, here's some more for you. And here's some more community tab for you. I'm like, you're not going to find a community tab of mine that has information about her. So,
Hmm.
yep.
Yeah.
Also, can I just jump in for 1 minute and say justice to Jay today, who told me back in 2022 about this Google Drive. And I told her, I need proof in order to ask her about it. But unfortunately, she wasn't able to get the proof to me. So I was just like, oh, well, I guess this is just fodder because I'm a proof person. I'm not a jump to conclusions person. And Jay today had reached out to me back in 2022 and said, Geneva has a Google file. I've seen it. And back then, Jay today has always had my back. So can we just give a shout out to Jay today? Because she was the first one who tried to get and nobody listened.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen it
Shout
with
out
my
to Day today.
and well, and once I saw, because I didn't know who Napa was or anything about Napa or have anything against Napa or have any feelings towards Napa, and when I opened it up and it was stuff about the stepson's death, I was like, yeah, I don't need this, thanks. So I'm sure she's got everybody and everything, and at this point, I don't care. She can do whatever.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. But I know every time Maria posts something of mine, I'm posting something of Geneva's too, because Maria wouldn't be able to post that about me and my family if it weren't for Geneva. So every time they post, I'm posting for you too, Jenny.
Well, and when I was just talking to the police officer, because they had left me a voicemail, so I called him back. And when I was explaining all the things that were going on and saying, here's her YouTube, just go take a look and see if she's the victim. And he's like, okay, so how can we get her to stop calling us? And I said, well, I guess maybe you need to, hold her to her false reporting because that's all that's going to stop. As long as you keep taking her reports and acting like real crimes are going on and messing with people, she's going to keep calling you. So,
Yeah.
Well, on top of that, she's also doxing my best friend PMR in her community tab, and PMR in Arizona has her own paper trail on Geneva. So, I mean, to get two police departments involved on this stalking and harassment, I mean, you're not the only one who has, you know, issues with her and documentation, because unfortunately documentation matters, and as much as people say don't use resources, unfortunately that is what we have to do to be able to protect ourselves. So considering PMR is also being doxxed on that community tab, and now it combines you too, you know, it would be beneficial for your police department to contact that police department at some point, if that's even a thing.
right. Well, and the thing is I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But the thing is can you imagine the things that she reported it about me, that she had to be assigned a victim's advocate from my jurisdiction?
I mean, is that even a thing too? Like a victim's advocate for internet fodder?
Well, she sent the transcript of the voicemail that the victim's advocate left with their phone number and everything. So I sent that straight away to the police. So I don't know, if you're such a victim, why are you sharing the voicemail with anybody else and providing the phone number that anybody else can reach out to them? I mean, I'd keep that close to my chest if I was that much of a victim.
Mhm. Plus, I mean, there is the police report where the cop told her before, stay offline, do your best to stay away from these people. But Jenny, you keep putting yourself in the mix of it. So,
Well, and that's the
it,
thing, is she's acting like a victim, like she's being victimized. And it's like you were full part instigating all of this and had no problem doing this to everybody else. But now that somebody else is going to say, boo, your way, now you're the victim. I'm sorry. No, thank you.
hmm yeah. And like when Christy Denver asked, well, what did George do to you? She didn't answer. She couldn't answer. I never did anything to her. I'm going
Yeah.
to put that victim advocate's number up here.
Excuse me,
So,
Well,
George. You
block off the
personally
number.
attacked her by making me and
okay.
PMR and Star a mod. That is how you
Exactly.
victimize Geneva.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And Geneva, she still hasn't answered for anything. And she kept saying, I'm going to give you proof. I'm going to give you proof. She never gave me proof. And I have the message where she messaged me. I never messaged her. And when she asked me, hey, you want to talk? And I said, about what? And she said, I don't know. Julie said that you wanted to talk. No. So, so yeah, she's a fucking freak.
She just wants to minimize everything she's done and make it seem like she's the victim and she's the poor picked on one, when it's, group after group after group after group are dumping her. And at some point it's like, oh, I can see why that happened, you know. Whereas
Mhm.
before, when Drazo first introduced her to me, he didn't tell me about all the issues that had been going on with her and the group. I had to find out all of those things firsthand. Of, she was fighting with this one for this, and this one she was fighting with for this, and this one she was fighting for this. And for the longest time, I didn't believe what any of the other people were saying, that she was the problem, because I was getting it from her where she was the victim, and all of these people were just the people that were picking on her and ganging up on her. And now on this side of it, when I see the comments that people are making in the chats, I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember the opposite side of the story that I was given, but now 3 other people have corroborated what was actually going on. And so she just, she, you- it's fine as long as you're towing the line and doing what she wants you to do. But then once you, don't, it's like she goes scorched earth on you, and you don't even see it coming. It's just all of a sudden, you know doing all these garbage things to you. Like, I immediately started getting spoof messages from multiple different people, and it's like, the, I believe all of them were her based on the messages that were coming through. It's the later messages where it's people like, "Hey, I'm so and so. What can you tell me about this? Or can you this?" Those came later, you know, well after I had been on Brooke's panel. Then those people started trickling in. But in the first month or 2 months, I believe every single one was Geneva texting me like, "Oh, we have habanero's information. Oh, we have E11's information. Oh, I need you to find this." And, "Oh, I can't believe that you won't be my friend anymore." Stuff that it's like, if someone tells me like, "Hey, I don't want to be your friend anymore." Okay, bye. I'm not gonna force anybody to be friends with me.
Yeah, especially on the internet.
Well, and the thing is Drazo and I had a really good friendship. We talked every single day for the longest time. Really, really good friendship. And she destroyed that. So there was a situation where, and I don't know how true all of it is now, but supposedly John was sending her messages saying how sick he was and how he couldn't go to the doctor and couldn't get any help. So then she sent me the messages, and in the picture that I was sent, he looked awful and miserable. And I was like, well, I'll send him some cold medicine. I mean, like, I can DoorDash him some cold medicine. And so then became this big deal. And I told Durazo, like, "Hey, I'm sending him some cold medicine." And then he contacts John and he's like, "Hey, Charrington's sending you some cold medicine." And then this whole big thing happens. And me and Drazo end up in this big fight over this medicine that Geneva then lied to John about and said she didn't know anything about it and she wasn't sending out his messages when she sure as shit was. And I sent him to Drazo to show him, like, here's her messages, here's the picture of John. And so it's, not just, the people that she doesn't like that she's causing issues with. It's any of your other friends. You can't have other friends. And that was another point of contention with me and her, is I have other people that I communicate with that have been loyal to me since way in the beginning when I got involved in any of this YouTube reality garbage. I have real friends that have been loyal to me this entire time, and she wanted me to tell her who they all were. And I'm like, I'm not telling you who these people are. They've had my back, I have their back. I'm not going to disclose their identities to you. And she could not get over that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Why do you need to be in people's personal life?
I think she literally has to isolate you from everybody else. You know, you can't have other friends, you can't have other interests. It has to be YouTube, Reddit, and her all the time.
Yeah, yeah, she's a fucking nut.
Yeah.
And
But I just
like,
wanted to come back and say, like, anything that you're doing, if you're emailing her family, if you're calling her family, if you're texting her family, if you have her information, that's all on you. They're over in Ohio or wherever you're moving to.
mhm,
Um, that's not on me, and I can't
no,
be I can't be held accountable for the crimes against humanity that you're committing.
right, right. But I take full responsibility of everything I've done, everything I've said. If I've called, I've done it by myself. It has nothing to do with anybody else. So that's that.
Yeah.
And Geneva,
Well, and
you,
apparently she has screenshots and screen recordings of people contacting her and her family, that she submitted to them. So if you want to FOIA that and get the screen recordings and the whatever, you can go
mhm.
ahead and FOIA those couple of cases and get her screenshots and screen recordings so you can peruse them and determine if it was you or not contacting those people.
Okay. I gotta get the FOIA of her niece. That's what I gotta get. I'll be
Well,
working on it. So,
well, that's all on you and whatever you're doing. So,
all on me. Yep.
yep. Well, I'm going to let you go. I just want to jump back up and let you know that the third police report 043.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that.
Yep, you have a good one.
You too. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
All right, you guys, I'm going to end it. That is it for me. That's so you guys have a good night. Thank you guys for coming. Again, thanks Daddy for coming up. Thank you Muzz for coming up. Thank you Amber C for coming up. This was fun. You guys take care of yourselves. I will see you guys in chats. Maybe I will go live maybe like once a month or so. Um, um, I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to meet a lot of you guys and to share a space with you guys for like the last year and a half. Thank you guys who have been mods. Thank you guys who have taken some of these hits for being mods. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for being loyal and respectful. I know we weeded out a lot of the bad ones, and really once Maria was gone, there went the bad ones. um, you guys take care of yourselves. Um, I really hate to leave you guys because I feel like there's not really many chats for this side to go through, to go to. So I don't know. Maybe I can work something out. I'm not sure, but I love you guys so much. Stay strong. I will do that. You guys stay strong too. Do not back down to them either. If they're on your ass, get right back on their ass and hit the fucking gas like Geneva's mom did.